Morning, everybody. We're going to start right at 9. Hope you guys are having a great morning.
Did anybody just hear that? I apologize. I was
I was going to say,
hyping myself up for the meeting.
you got some strong beats. I love it.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I was going to mention it. I thought it was great. Morning, everybody who's popping on. Howdy, folks. We're going to start in 5 minutes. Hi. Let me...
I had a hard time getting in.
It took me a second. I couldn't claim the host for a second.
And I don't know why mine says KW New England.
You got the host now for some reason, so that's cool.
Well, not really, because you have to put up the PowerPoint and do all that.
You can make me host.
Okay, how do we make you host?
Open up participants.
Open up what? I'm sorry.
Participants at the bottom. Yep. And next to my name, hit more, and I think you can make me the host.
Make host. Perfect. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, and then
I'm going to make you the co-host.
Perfect.
There you go.
And I'm going to change my name. Now, let's see, how do I rename me? I think up there, rename. And okay, there. Perfect. Are you ready for this?
I am. I hope everybody else here is ready for this.
I know.
I know. They have to deal with me first thing in the morning, and I've had 2 cups of coffee already.
Oh boy, we're in trouble, I can tell. That's awesome. That's great. Have you been on any other Zooms?
Other of the Ignite Zooms?
Yeah.
I watched one last night. So
Okay. So a lot of the is repetition too.
Mhm.
So what I'll do is I will watch the chat box, let you know if there's questions.
And absolutely, you chime in too. Like,
Yep, chime in. I'll chime in for sure. I was going to put the participants up on my other monitor just so I can kind of follow along with what they're seeing. My double monitor here. All right, now let's see. Oh boy, that might not work. We'll see.
I'm gonna start in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Oh, I got a couple of brave souls showing their faces this morning. Hi,
Yeah,
hi, Grace.
there we go.
Hi, this is Grace, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm not going to be able to attend because I'm doing the new agent orientation.
Oh, well, you can always grab us on the recording.
I will plan on it, but I
All
really
right.
truly have enjoyed these sessions. They're really very beneficial.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That's great.
Thank you.
Yes, that is great.
Mhm.
Hey, Grace. Oh, did she jump off already?
She
Yeah.
just jumped. Yeah.
Rats. All right. I wanted to mention something that we talked about yesterday, but missed her. I'll wait till tomorrow.
There you go.
Oh, some more
Now,
brave
there is-
souls with their faces. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Oh, they're all jumping in now. They waited till the last second. Realtor time, as I like to call it. So the realtor time is really 5 minutes after we start.
That's realtor time. That's correct.
All right. Well, it's 9 o'clock and I always like to start on time. So we're going to get going as people kind of roll in this morning. Welcome to session 4 of Ignite, which is your database. And your database is your business, which is the official title. My name is Maggie McDowell. I am the Director of Technology and Development for the Westwood office, as well as the Easton office. I've been with Keller Williams for about 16 years in all different shades, forms, assistant to an agent. I have my real estate license. I was the assistant team leader, the MCA. I was the RTT for a little while. So I've been around for a few years. And I am super excited to bring you this particular topic because I am super passionate about your database and what it can do for your business. So I'm very excited to be with you today. And Bonnie is my lovely co-host. Bonnie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning, Bonnie Gavin. I've been a realtor for 36 years. Love teaching, do a lot with the Market Center. I'm a Market Center instructor for KW. And I'm very happy to be here. And I agree, database is so important. That's the part of your business. So enjoy this session. I think you will.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So before I start, I'd actually like to grab from you guys a couple of ahas that you had from your previous session yesterday. Anybody want to just shout out a couple of ahas or throw them in the chat? This is where you guys participate.
This is where it's participatory.
Anybody, I actually am very good with long pauses, uncomfortable pauses. So we're gonna sit here until someone just tells me something. What did you learn yesterday?
I learned lots and lots of scripts to learn.
Okay, lots of scripts. Got it.
I learned about when you don't know the answer to something, then instead of just saying, great question, I'll try and figure it out, you can say, let me get that information for you.
Awesome. Excellent.
And in the chat, the database is very versatile. My contacts do not have, all have to be by telephone. That's correct.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Adrian, it looked like you had something to say earlier.
Yeah, I was just saying like how important script work is. I know I've got all the paperwork. I've got a bunch of stuff printed out. I haven't really dove into it much, but I kind of realized how important that'll be for my conversations going forward, practicing some scripts.
Oh my goodness, yes. Scripts are super important. And I know everybody just like groans when they hear the word script, but let me tell you, after some practicing and if you've used it for enough times, it just comes out natural, right? We eventually internalize it, kind of flip it a little bit so it's ours. And then by the time where we spit it out, we practice for so many times and days. By the time we spit it out, it actually sounds really, really good. And it really brings results if you can use the scripts. Really
I wanted to say good morning to Miss Brooke, our New England tech queen. She's amazing. So good morning, Brooke. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, guys. Just jumping in and checking in to make sure everybody could get in, that they weren't having any problems with their cameras, because I only see one page of faces.
I know.
Right.
Brooke, you're right. I said I only had a few brave souls this morning.
I know. Do we need to do the Zoomrenity acknowledgement? Our Zoomrenity prayer?
Here they come. Here comes some more.
Yeah, I already had 2 cups of coffee, so these guys better wake up a little bit. Otherwise, I'm going to make them do some Danica Costco exercises, and we're going to do some jumping around. And boy, you guys don't want that, I'm sure, in the morning.
Once I get my kids off to school, I'll be on my camera.
Awesome.
Oh, great, thanks, Amy.
Great. Awesome.
I have a question.
Maggie, Kim Blauvelt here in Newport, Rhode Island. I have a question for you about scripts. Where is the best place to find all the scripts and good scripts? I mean, is there a certain place that you find them?
Oh, absolutely. So there's a bunch of different places you can grab them right from. The Ignite scripts are available for you in your toolkit, and you should be able to grab those. And there's a lot there, absolutely. But I know people want to expand a little bit. If you go into KW Connect and you search for scripts, you actually find there are several script books that actually pop up. I actually have printed them out over the years, and they are sitting in a binder in my office.
And Brooke just put them in the chat, so you can click on that and pull them up.
He's a wizard.
Great, thanks so much.
He is a wizard.
Yeah, so we definitely have some, and there's some on the Facebook page. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. And then there's so much there. And then also talk to some of the agents in your office who've been around for a long time. They also have some really great scripts. If you've ever joined a power hour or something like that, you can sit there and listen. And I have heard some great ones over the years, and I have taken them and I've stolen them. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are some great ones out there that you can really take and make your own for sure.
And Maggie, I also purchased Bold scripts. I purchased those. And then I have some maps scripts as well. These are great. So you can probably get them on the KW site.
Yep.
They're awesome.
And also talk to your team leader. Your leadership also probably has a great resource of just like I said, I personally have a book here that people come in my office to go look at all the time. Yeah. So I'm sure they have something very similar and I can point you in the right direction. There's a script for everything. So you'll be fine, I promise. All right, cool. Any questions before we start this lovely session?
Happy to see all more faces.
I know, this is great. I'm excited. So as we just a few ground rules, right? So if you could please, if you have questions, put them in the chat or raise your hand. We'll get to you. We'll try to answer as many as possible today. Also, I want participation, right? So I'm going to be asking questions, making sure you guys are alive in there. So you can, use your reactions and get going and really just participate, guys. So that's the best way to learn. And just to make sure you guys know how to use them, the reactions are in the bottom right. And if everybody could go down there right now and just either give me a thumbs up or a heart or excitement little chat. Oh, I see there's some there. Awesome. Great.
Oh, I like the party one. Thanks, Ty.
I know that's a party over here. That's from Ty. Ty actually had his music on earlier, so it definitely makes a lot of sense. Awesome. All right, so without further ado, let me share my screen and we can get going here. So, screen 2, give me a second here. From beginning. Excellent. All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect, thank you. All right, guys. So like I said, welcome to session 4. Remember that the goal of Spark is for you guys to get your first appointment within the first 2 weeks and to get your first contract within 30 days, right? And we can't do that without our actual database. And that's what we're going to learn today about how to organize it, how to get it in there, how to utilize it, how to make it a moneymaker, because a good database works for you, right? And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we get into it. You're going to work on your goal every single day in Ignite, right? You're going to build your database. You're going to practice your scripts. You're going to, contact your prospective clients, and you're going to get to know your market, right? And in 2 weeks, you're going to establish the core activities and habits that you will use for your entire real estate career, right? So practice makes perfect, right? This is why we do a lot of repetition in Ignite. We do a lot of the same stuff over and over again, but that's because we're trying to get you into a habit. How many days does it take to make a habit? Does anybody know?
It's 21, right?
2 weeks.
More than that.
66 days.
66. That's
days.
right.
You got
Yep.
it.
So there's a reason why we do this so often, right? You're going to get a good jump on it for your first 2 weeks, but you're going to have to continue it after we're done, right? So it's really, really important. So the secret to becoming a real estate agent, here it is. There is no secret. There is no secret to becoming a real estate agent. It's just a lot of hard work, right? Success leaves clues. And so we know exactly what successful agents do every single day that became successful, right? So every single day they grow their business and they run their business, right? So they lead generate for buyers and sellers every single day, right? Which is something that we are practicing every single day now. We make seller and listing presentations to get listings. We make buyer presentations to get buyers and listings. We preview real estate every single day, which means we do our market reports and we look at real estate and we just make sure we know the market very well. That's all growing your business, right? Because if we can't just stay still with our business, we have to grow in order to get better. We also need to run our business, right? So we market seller listings, we show buyer houses, we negotiate contracts, right? All that, we set goals for ourselves, right? Why is it important to have a goal?
Hello.
You have something to strive for.
Yeah, right. Like it's having a goal is so important, right? Everybody needs a big why. Like, why do we get up every single morning, right? And we need a goal in order to achieve that big why. And it's also important to know where we are, right? So we can reach that goal and get everything to go that way. We need to attend training and coaching, which is exactly what we're doing right now, right? You're all here. And we need to manage our money correctly, right? So those are big, huge things. Today, we are focusing on number 1. We are focusing on for lead generating for buyers and sellers, right? And that has a lot to do with our database. We have a roadmap to follow today, right? So we're going to cover all of these things today. What is a database? Why use a database? Develop your database. And we're going to recap our ahas, and we're going to have daily success habits. We're going to practice some of the stuff that we're talking about today. So can I ask you guys, what do you guys think a database is?
A collection of information.
Of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's critical. You can't survive. You can't compete in this market without a database.
Yeah, Brian, I think you nailed it on the head.
Yeah.
Right. A database is something, it is the living embodiment of your business, right? It is your gold mine. It is where your business is going to come from. And you need to nurture it and grow it every single day. Now, what do you think the difference is between a database and a phone book? Right? Because a lot of people have that, they think it's the same thing, but it's not.
You know these people, you're familiar with them, either met them or have their contact information.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's part of it, absolutely, because you're working it every single day, right? You have a connection with them. a lot of people really confuse the two of them, right? A phone book is just a list of names and numbers. That's it. That's what a phone book is, right? And we can absolutely have a phone book in our CRM without really knowing what's happening, right? If we don't reach out to our people in a consistent way, if we don't organize our data in a certain way, if our database is not giving us what we need to be successful, then it is just a phone book, right? So a database is something we work, and a phone book is just a list of names and information, right? So it's huge. And I think a lot of people have don't see it that way. And I think a lot of people need to, right? Because it is such an important thing for our business. Right? And I kind of mentioned this before, a well-tended database produces leads, right? It tells you what to do every single day. It literally gives you what you need in order to pull out the information to market to people. And it should be leading you business, right? It's a living record of our business relationships. It helps us nurture and manage relationships. It produces a predictable flow of business, right? And we're going to talk about that a little bit more today. And it improves your service and strengthens your relationships. Okay. Next step here. Okay. So what is a database? We talked about this a little bit. What is the purpose of your database? It is to, the purpose of your database is to give you information, to give you your names and number, have everything in it, your CRM, right?
So Maggie,
yes.
I have a question. Why don't they go to their student manuals and take a couple minutes to fill that out in their student manuals? Why not? I think that would be great. And then we can come back and talk about it.
Okay, great.
Okay, open your participant guides and go to page, I think it's page 3. And take a look at those and answer them. And we'll give you, what, 5 minutes, Maggie?
Yeah, let's give them 5 minutes to fill it out.
Okay, perfect.
Is there any way you could throw that page up on the screen for people if we didn't have it printed out, or is that tough to find?
I might be able to. Give me like a second and I might be able to.
Okay, I'll do it right now. And in the chat it goes.
Thank you, Bonnie.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yep. Hopefully that works.
Don't think that file worked, at least not on my end. It's not like a clickable link.
Okay, because someone just said thank you. Okay, let's see if I can do it a better way. There's always a way, isn't there?
There is always a way. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can grab it.
See some. And see if Brooke was still here, she'd pop it in, but she's not here.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the script book.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find it. I have several things open on my computer.
Yeah, that's where I pulled it from, but let's see.
There we go. There you go. Looks just like that.
Thank you.
Here is the link for all of you.
Yeah. Trying to get that into so that they can pull them up though. Yeah.
There you go. Now that
I think I just pasted the same one.
I think you linked it to your computer.
See to everyone.
Give everybody 3 more minutes.
Adrian, could you open that one?
Yes, thank you.
Two more minutes, and then we're going to break you guys out and have you discuss what you guys think each one of these is.
Do you want to break them into a small group?
Yeah,
And,
I'll break
have
them in, yep. In
Perfect.
1 minute, we'll break them up.
Good.
We're going to break up the band. Yep, I can. Great. How many people we got? 51. 4. 10 is fine. All right, guys, I'm going to break you up real quick, and then I want you to discuss for 5 minutes what you feel like the answer is. And then I want you guys to pick a leader for your group, and then we're going to discuss when you come back. All right? Everybody clear on the instructions? Anybody have any questions about the instructions?
This will all be discussed in the group chat.
Yep. So discuss what your answers were to these. Okay.
In your breakout room.
In your
You'll be
breakout
going
room.
into, yeah, Ty, you're going into a breakout room.
All right. Any other questions? All right, here we go.
I exited my group by accident.
Oh no. You're like, I'm out. Bye. That's okay. You can hang out with me for an extra. It's only they're closing in 30 seconds.
We
so.
were choosing the leader, and I was gonna hit unmute, and it popped up right away like we can leave in a few seconds, and I clicked that by accident.
That's okay. It's okay.
I don't want them to think I was being rude.
No. All right, we'll wait as people start coming back. Oh, here they come. Did everybody make new friends today?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Excellent. Okay, so I need a couple of the spokespeople. Can you please raise your hand so I can call on you to share what you guys
I'm
talked about?
raising my hand.
Cool. All right, Carlos, you were first. So go ahead. What did you guys come up with?
Should I do all of them at once?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go through.
Okay, so as for the purpose of your database, we all said that it helps you to build your business and keep all your contacts in one place, as well as follow up and follow through with them. And that kind of led us into the database value, where it like contains all your connections and leads.
Mm-hmm.
And as for businesses that use databases, we really thought that all businesses use it in a way for marketing and everything.
Absolutely.
And then for targeted marketing effectiveness, we thought that it could really help you to be accurate with how you market to people.
Yeah.
To specific like groups and everything.
Right, exactly. Having groups of people to do specific things to, right? You're not.
Yeah, because like some people like to be called, or some people like to be texted, or some people like to see a picture. Like it's different for everyone. So
Yeah,
database really helps.
Absolutely, yeah. And you wouldn't send, something for a kids event to somebody without kids, right? So
Exactly, yeah.
Having that kind of sorting in your database, absolutely.
Yeah.
Adrian, you want to go next?
Sure, happy to do that. So yeah, along the database line, I think he covered it pretty well, but it's just not only like, is it like a list of contacts, but it's like how recently you've reached out to them, I think is really important. Getting to know, you kind of realize, has it been 6 months since you've talked to this person? Are they on a current smart plan, or, do you know where they're at, in their wave of their, their home cycle? Yeah, same thing with like the database being valuable. Those, the bigger the pool, it's all like percentage based. You want a certain percent that are going to lead to an appointment, which is going to, a certain percentage is then going to lead to like under contract, and then that's going to lead to a closing. Like the bigger the base, the higher number of clients down the road. I think we said like another, like a relatable industry that I think everyone can understand is just like the dentist. They're pretty good about sending updates and getting you in there 2 times a year. You'll get emails or calls if you haven't been.
Nobody likes them either.
Yeah,
Do it anyway.
Yeah. And yeah, just what makes targeted marketing effective. I kind of threw out the phrase in our group. It's like, I've heard, if you're marketing to everyone, you're kind of marketing to no one at the same time. It's like you kind of want a specific target that you're marketing towards that will gain more, traction as far as what you want to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Thank you. Jill, you were next.
Okay, we had a lot of the same answers that the other groups had, but the purpose was to build and maintain relationships, basically. Keep yourself on track, streamline, and organize your outreach. The value, quality of the information, and it's quality over quantity, relationship communication, and to be able to track your leads. We felt that every industry uses databases, especially sales and marketing, for communication. And targeted marketing, it's effective. You can customize it. You can make unique databases and to keep your clients engaged.
And so, oh, you're muted, Maggie. So some of the things we talked, also is the follow-up. You use your database to follow up. That is so important. That's how you stay on top of who you need to. And then the target marketing is being consistent with people, being able to be consistent and timely. Those are really important.
Yep, they're all very important. And you had mentioned that all companies use some sort of database and some prospecting and some marketing, and they're very good at sorting people and figuring out based on data and certain activities to really sort people out. I think one of my favorite things that I read was when I read an article about a woman who was very upset by Target, because what Target had realized, and this is very strange, but it's very true, Target had realized that if a woman buys tissues at a certain time of the year, that means she has a very high probability, like an 80% probability of being pregnant. It was very strange. And then the woman was mad because they had advertised baby stuff to her daughter. And I just thought that was very interesting, because really it's all about data and insights and the ways that you can get them into your database, right? And then we're doing the same exact thing. We're tracking whether people have been in their homes for a certain amount of time, or how close they are, or what neighborhoods they live in, and the trends in the market. And then we're sorting people based on those things so we can market to them efficiently. So it's really good. One more, Brooke, since you were next, and then we'll move forward.
All right. So the purpose of our database, it's the brain of our business. It's a central location to keep every one of our contacts in, and it sort of updates as we update it, so it stays current. What makes it valuable? All of those things. It's unique to us, so nobody else has our database. So it's our moneymaker and our moneymaker only. Obviously, the whole prospecting and marketing, it's for the database. It's hotels. We listed Facebook, anything with sales and advertising. And we didn't get to the last one, but what makes targeted marketing effective is just having that consistent and constant communication and not losing your clients in your database or your customers.
And you have a very cute cat, by the way.
Realize you hopped back there.
All right, let me just share my screen again. Get back on. So awesome. Okay, guys. Any questions on any of this? All right. Awesome.
I have a question. So I guess you could say initially when I had read the question number 4 about why is targeting marketing effective, I was wondering if that is something that you I guess actually want to think about, because I feel like in real estate, like we only have the market of people that are over 18 that can sign a legal binding contract. But so I'm glad I was able to hear a lot of the answers as to what people had to say, because I think it kind of clarified my question and got me to what you guys were looking for. But yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, organization, like this is part of groups, and we'll definitely dive into more about ways you should sort your database as well. But it's so important to have different ways to market to people, right? One of the things that, we talk about is, we can send out, we're so used to the one-to-many marketing, right? So like when we send something, it just applies to everybody, right? And everybody gets the one-to-many marketing, like, oh, spring cleaning, and oh, it's Thanksgiving, those kinds of things. Like it's one thing that hits everybody. But the stuff that really works is that Amazon, Netflix-like experience, right? So it's the stuff that really hits home for the certain person, right? So when we target somebody based on a town they live in, or we target somebody based on, their interests or what they have for, their pets or their kids or whatever, whatever they have, it's a lot more poignant, and hits a lot harder if we can hit those interests for them, which is why we organize and we do our database like that. Does that help?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I guess when I had initially read the question, I was looking at the word targeted as more of the word limited. Not specifically in that sentence, like if you replace the word, but when I read it, I was kind of like, that's odd. Why would you want to only have like a limited marketing, like directed towards one crowd or directed towards one town? versus all the people that you're able to reach out to?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Reach out to all. Yeah, go ahead, Bonnie.
So that's okay. So targeted is exactly neighborhood. You know, you might target a neighborhood. You might have some stats for that neighborhood and you want to share so that you can maybe get a listing. You know, so that's the targeting part of it and being consistent with that. So that's basically, you know, what targeted means. Going for that certain avenue that you're looking at. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Perfect. Yep. I mean, you're still going to market to people. You're just going to hit them where they live, right? What interests them. All right. So there are 3 levels to a millionaire database, right? So there's 3 ways: the essential, the effective, and exceptional. So basically, there's a ranking for the contacts in your database and how you reach out to them, right? So we're going to talk about essential first. And I think
it's on page 4. You can draft it, go to page 4 of your participation.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So I bet most of you could have guessed what some of the essential things were. Name, contact info, past business, past contact record, right? Have we worked with them before? Where did we get to know them, right? Those kinds of information. And we can have at-will communications with them, right? So we have a good way to connect with them. Do they do it by phone, Facebook, text? Like, what's the best way we can reach out to them, right? We know all of those things. I do want to make a little mention here because that contact info is huge, right? So there are so many times I see people with part of this essential information missing, right? We're either missing a phone number or an email address or most of all, an address. I thought this was very telling when KW first turned on command, like 90% of the new contacts that were in there didn't have an address. Can I ask you guys what business we're in? Can I just ask that question? Real estate. What do we do? Do we sell houses?
No, we impact people's lives.
Oh, well,
that's right.
True. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. But yes, we are in the business of real estate. So I think having people's addresses is pretty important. And it also ties in with the smart plans that we'll talk about later, right? With neighborhood nurtures
and the other thing, Maggie, what it does is, you know, you can tag neighborhood sports teams. It's something that is the same for each of the contacts, music, whatever it is, but that's where you are going to tag those people then you can do your smart plans.
Yeah, and absolutely. And when you guys are reaching out, especially for the first time to some of the people in your database, make sure you have your essential information. If not, use your scripts to get them the pieces of information that you're missing to make that essential column fill out. Does that make sense? You guys have any questions about that? Okay. The next is effective, right? So we've gone through 1 through 4. Now 5 through 8 is the effective database, right? So we've obtained permission. We now have we obtained permission to reach out to them. We've collected personal information, insights, and preferences. So what I mean by that, like what sports team do they like? Are they, do they like to hike? Do they have kids? Do they have pets, right? Those kinds of things. Those insights to a person, how is their family built, like those kinds of things, so that we can help reach out in a better, more effective way to these people, right? They're segmented based on groups, based off of 1 through 6 here, right? So we've organized them in our database so that we can pull out information regarding these particular essentials and effective stuff here. And we have purposeful and consistent communication, right? So what do you think I mean by purposeful and consistent communication?
It looks like Brooke has a question also. She has her hand raised. No, Brooke? Okay.
Oh, I know those still from the past.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any ideas on purposeful and consistent communication?
So that's actually something I had a question about because I'm reaching out to a bunch of people that I used to know or they used to go to my school and reconnecting and we've been connecting and talking, but I just don't know because I know that we're supposed to have 10 conversations about real estate a day and I'm trying to figure out how to like really put that where I'm not coming off as a salesperson, but more as like I'm actually having impact in their lives.
Absolutely. And yeah, no, that's great. And you know, a lot of it has to do with how you ask the question, right? You can't just come out and say like, hey, give me business. Can I have my, hey, you know, I really need it. Where are you buying or selling? You know, anybody's buying or selling, right? You got to come, and it comes from mindset a lot too, Anthony, right? So there's like two ways to think of it, right? I'm bothering somebody. And if you feel like you're bothering somebody, you are going to bother them, right? Like it's a different conversation altogether. It's like, hey, it's Maggie again. Sorry, do you have any, like that's a very different conversation than coming from a point of contribution. Because right, Anthony, you're trying to change their life, right? You're trying to help people. And so you have to have that conversation about how you're trying to help people, right? So one of the things I like to say is like, hey, you know, I am trying to help 12 families this year move into the home of their dreams. Do you know of anybody I can help so I can reach that goal? Right?
Okay.
It's a different way to ask. It's a different mindset, right? Because if you come from that point of contribution, hey, like, can I help you with something? Do you need a vendor? Do you need something? Like, I'm here for you. You need some market info. You need some mortgage help, credit help, whatever it is, right? You have the resources and you can be that local expert for those people. Does that help?
Yeah, that does help. I'm actually gonna try to send some call some people in that way and ask them. So.
Yeah, change the script a little bit, right? And that is a script, by the way. It's from Bold, I believe. Change it a little bit and make it come from your heart, right? It's a point of contribution, right? We want to help people, and let's make sure we say that when we talk to people.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Purposeful communication. So back to that, just quick, that it's different. It's the ways that we connect with people and how many times and when we connect with people, right? So we call it the 19 to connect and the 30, is it 36? 33 touch to follow up, right? So and we're going to dive down a little deeper to that later on, but it's consistent communication. We can't just call them once and forget about them, right? So that's not going to work that way. Now let's talk about the exceptional, right? So exceptional is automated, automagic, custom communication built around triggers, right? So it's having your database do this for you in a lot of ways. It's called, anybody remember those 3 L's of the triangle?
Yeah, it's leverage, listings, and I forgot the third L.
Yeah, I know you can do it, Anthony.
Come on.
What are you going out there for?
Didn't I say listing?
Listing, yeah. But what? How do you get the listing?
Leads.
There you go.
Yes.
Leads,
yeah, right. And we're talking the automated stuff is that leverage part, right? That's the leverage part. So you can focus more of your time on the listings and the leads, right? If we can leverage a lot of the stuff, we have our database remind us to do things, or we have our database sending out text message or email messages for us, right? That's the leverage part, right? So that we can focus on the personal stuff, right? It's being a tech enabled agent instead of enabled tech and being enabled tech, right? So using whatever CRM, now obviously we like Command around here, but I don't care what CRM you're using, right? I mean, all of this stuff works no matter what you're using, as long as you're leveraging, you really have an exceptional database, okay? Any questions regarding this? All right, cool. Remember, right, it is possible to become a millionaire real estate agent with the first level alone, right? But the opportunity to grow and to build really comes from having an effective and exceptional database, okay? Okay. Why use our database? So now that we know the 3 levels of a millionaire database, we are going to explore why using a database is key to running a successful business, right? So that's what we're going to dive into right here. Okay, so we're going to cover this. Why I use it is to avoid the today trap and predictable ROI. Does anybody know what ROI stands for?
Return on investment.
Very good. Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about that today trap. There are 2 types of businesses, today's business and tomorrow's business, right? Today is the now. What are we working on today, right? But tomorrow is the future. And we had talked about consistency, right? We don't want peaks and valleys in our business. We want a straight line up, right? That's what we're looking for. And I see too often, and Bonnie, I think you probably have seen this too, where a new agent gets a lead and that is all they think about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That like, oh my God, I have a listing or have a buyer, and then they just tunnel focus on that one thing and they forget about the stuff that matters, which is
your pipeline.
Yes, your pipeline, and having a database that is leveraging some of that for you and reminding you to call people regardless of what you are doing outside of, doing, if you're focusing on a listing or a sale, right? A good database will continuously help you with that tomorrow's business, right? We cannot focus on one person. We have to continue to think of what's coming next, right? Because how many days is it between lead to close? Does anybody know?
90.
90, I heard it. Yeah.
And each
90.
market could be different too.
Say that again.
Each market could be different.
Each market could be different. I mean, things are flying off the shelves for listings.
Yeah, right now it's like 30 to 45 days.
Right. And buyers are a little hard to find a listing for them, so it could take longer, right? But but it kind of proves the point, right? You can't just stop at one, right? Because every day I don't lead generate is the day that I don't have 60 days in the future, I don't have a check, right? I mean, 60 to 90 days I don't have a check. So it's a really important and powerful thing to remember. And taking control of your database and having purposeful, consistent approach to their contacts is how you build a path to your future and how you can get repeat and referral business, right? So it's focusing and hammering on your sphere, right? On a consistent, reliable basis.
And it's interesting because the National Association of Realtors say that people move every 10 years. It used to be 7, and now it's up to 10. And I'm wondering what's going to happen with this COVID. What is that going to do with people moving, right?
Yep.
So if you're only focusing on the people doing business today, then that's only about 10%. So you just have to continue to grow that pipeline and continue to grow that.
Right, which is why we lead generate every day. I think, Bonnie, we brought up a great point, right? What is it going to be in the future? And we have to work harder for our business, right? That it's very true. And I've come across people who are just hoping that the market changes, but hope is not a strategy, right? Hope is not a strategy. You need to take control of your business. So in order to take control of your business, you need to work on your database. And
not just here and now, but future.
Yeah. So this is actually a neat little statistic kind of show of what we're talking about here, right? So these 100 tokens are 100 people. This is 100 people. And just pretend these are 100 people in your market, right? Now, 65 of them are looking to be homeowners, 35 are not. This is statistics, right? So this is actual numbers here. So out of those 100 people in your market, 65 of them are not actually looking, 35 are not actually looking, 65% are, right? And out of that 65, 58 of them are off the market, right? The remaining 7 today are your business. These 7 people are available. So 7 out of 100 people are looking for help, right? And if you're working your database, and you can hopefully find them, because if you're not, then you're missing these orphan people, right? These people are our orphans, and we need to be able to make sure that we can grab them. So the person who isn't already represented by an agent, right? We need to make sure we grab them, right? Okay, right. And Bonnie, you had said it before, like the people move every 10 years or so, and that fluctuates back and forth. But right now it's 10, and it might be more after now. So if you're only focusing on people doing business today, and you're only focusing on 10% of the business that can be done, right? Consider that all your contacts are potential clients, right? You got to consider that everybody is. If you take control of your database and have consistent approach to reaching out to them, right? Then you're gonna grab your 1 out of 7. Okay. All right. So before I move on, do you guys have any ahas for everything we've covered so far?
Is this all making sense to you guys?
Yeah, just the importance of building it today for tomorrow. You know, I think as new agents, we get stuck in needing to get something going right now, and we don't want to plan for 3 months down the road, but it's important to, even if we have nothing now, to just build it for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's great. And filling that pipeline so that today you have a transaction, tomorrow and a month from now and 3 months from now, there's something that's going to be coming along.
Yep, absolutely. Anybody else have an aha?
Quiet group.
I was gonna say, am I not doing a good job?
Start picking on.
Sorry. I was just gonna say that I agree with Brooke. Just planning for tomorrow. I think I just agree with everything she said. It just really resonated because I get so focused on what I need to do today when today turns into tomorrow, and I haven't planned for the next day, and then you just keep kind of going to that same cycle. So.
And that's why we say make those 10 calls a day, because you're building that business. So making those 10 calls makes it so that you gain future business. You can put that in your CRM, and you know, it gives you that task for later.
Awesome. All right. Let's go on to return on investment here. Okay. So let's talk about return on investment, right? So for every dollar that you invest in your database, you're expected to get at least $10 back, right? That's sort of the ratio, 10 to 1. Now, a really good real estate agent is going to get 14 to 1, right? And it could get even better, right? So somewhere between 10 to 1 and 14 to 1, that's your average return on investment, right? So you do need to invest something in your database. Now, I know as new agents, right, you don't have a lot of money to spend, and that's okay. And I can definitely tell you, what do you think your best return on investment is for lead generation right now?
Facebook ads.
That's a good one. Still not your best.
Michelle, what did you say?
I would just say it's the Facebook ads. That had with Keller Williams especially, they have, you know, there's so many people using it that it's reduced the cost for us for the ads.
Also good. I have a better one though.
Mm-hmm.
Using your own sphere.
How?
Calling,
I just heard it. Yeah. Your phone bill is the best return on investment you are ever going to have, right? Nothing beats the personal connection, either face-to-face or over the phone or some sort of personal connection. Nothing beats it, right? You could email as many things as you want. You could spend as much money on postcards as you want, much money on postage, but it doesn't mean anything unless you connect with them personally. It just doesn't. And
that's free.
Yeah, right. All you're paying is your monthly bill.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah. It's still the best return on investment that you will ever get when we're doing lead generation. And so many people forget about it, and so many people are scared of it. They're just so scared of it. It's totally, and I get it, right? Like we're very, we don't like to pick up the phone or call people or even text people or, you know, get to people, especially people we know. But it is something that you really must do. You have to have that personal connection. Otherwise it's all for naught, right? You might grab, you're probably going to grab a lead, right? It's the difference between like, you know, purposeful and entrepreneurial, right? Like you might grab one going out there and just throwing things at the wall, see what sticks, but the consistent use of phone calls or personal connections in conjunction with, you know, an email and a postcard and other things as well. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that.
Maggie, I think in one of the classes, they had you take your phone And they had you go all the way down to the very end of your phone to see how many contacts you had, right? Your phone is your business. Start with that.
Yep, start there. Absolutely. All right, so with each customer, right, there's going to be 3 associated costs, right? Generating the lead, converting that lead into a customer, and converting that customer into a referral, right? So there's 3 different, a person is worth more than just themselves, right? I forget the average number of times they're going to sell with you in your database. I think it's 4 or 5. Why do you know? Through their lifetime, how many times does a person in your database sell or buy?
Someone's trying to say it, but they can't. They're not working.
I can't remember like number wise. I heard some statistic on like a podcast the other day that was like each client is like potentially like 60,000 between like either their referrals or, repeat, business.
Right.
Somewhere around 60,000 per client if you can keep them lifelong.
Yep. Yeah. And the idea is to keep them lifelong, which is the consistency, right? So you think each person is going to like buy and sell like 4 or 5 times in their lifetime. And then at the same time, hopefully if you build a good relationship and you do a great job, you deliver that 10 plus customer experience, you're going to get referrals from them as well because they trust you and then they want to help their friends by having you help them, right? So that's the beauty of the whole thing. So, you're going to take advantage of the predictable ROI, right? The lowest lead cost, which is the cheapest customer acquisition strategy, is to work with existing customers and the people you know and who like you, right? So your existing database, right? That's the lowest lead cost, right? Because they're already in there. I don't need to, but the lowest conversion cost, when properly built and maintained, a database will actually end up producing its own leads, right? So that's referral based, right? That's where it's coming from. You can also do things outside of that, and that's where the marketing comes in. We'll talk about that in a second. And it pays for itself, right? The database makes it easier to do consistent follow-up, right? And when you are good at consistent follow-up, resulting leads will end up paying for themselves. All right. So whatever we're doing,
I threw them away.
we're using our proper
Threw them away.
script. And we are, sending out things on a consistent basis and talking to people who are doing our personal connections on a consistent basis. So the lead gen will pay for itself. That's what we're looking for here, our return on investment. And everything you do, whatever you're marketing or anything like that, you always need to look at your ROI, what you're getting back, right? You don't want to spend a ton of money on something and not track it, right? So if I'm spending, like, let's just say I do some farming and I do it for several times, like I want to see my return on investment. If I'm doing, and the same thing works with scripts too, by the way. Like we track what we do with our scripts. Why do you think we do that?
Repeat that question. You just kind of like stopped on my end.
Oh, sure. So anything we do, we want to track, right? Why do we want to track it? Like even scripts itself. Why do you think we want to track that kind of stuff?
It's easier
what works and what doesn't.
It's easier to bring that information that you learned into the new conversation. So like my friend, he wants to get into real estate. He's also graduating. So I used those 2 informations and I brought it back to our conversation yesterday. And it made the conversation more personal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Michelle,
did you say something?
It helps you see if what you're doing is working.
Yes, absolutely. Right. If I'm doing something and I'm not getting anything back for it, either I'm doing it wrong and I need some help with it and I need to learn it a little better, right? Script, something like that, or it's not working, right? Or if I'm not getting enough back for it, then it's not working and I need to figure out A, how to do it better, or B, I need to do something else. Doesn't mean you should try it once and give up, right? That's not what I'm saying here, but you do need to track your results so you can see what's working and what's not. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Questions? Okay. Developing our database. So we got to grow our database, right? So
So
go
I
ahead.
just have a quick question, Maggie. Would this be a good time to take a break?
Yeah, absolutely. How much you
Maybe
think?
five
5
minutes?
Yeah, let's do a 5-minute break. Let me stop my share here. So everybody go take a bathroom break, go get something to drink, go get some coffee. Yeah, I don't need any more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
See
and
you
I'll
back in.
see you
See you
back
back in 5. Yeah.
in 5 minutes. So that's 10:05, guys. 10:05. I'm gonna be.
There's a question in the chat. What tools do you use to track script progress? Is that command with the pipeline? So you can't really track scripts. You might want to just address that, Maggie, when you come back.
So what I tend to do is I make notes. So I'll have my sheet of people I've connected with the day.
Yeah.
So there's a tracking sheet. And I'll just
no, I'm just saying do that when you come back, only
Oh,
because
okay,
because it's a question and I
All
want
right,
to
I'll
make sure
wait,
everybody hears it. Yeah. Awesome.
Hey, Maggie.
Yeah.
I know we're on break. I just had a quick question. So I can turn on my camera so you can see who I am. Hi. So I know they say to use your phone for like your calling every day. I don't have a lot of contacts in my phone, which now I'm upset that I deleted my contacts a while ago. But what do you do once you get past all your contacts? Like, how would you, like, what's the best way to get more people to call? Because I thought after I went through my phone, I was like, okay, well, I can go to like businesses and introduce myself. But even that is not making like a personal connection. That's kind of me just saying, if you're looking for a real estate agent, I can help you. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that actually, if you hang in for 5 minutes, we're actually that's the next thing we're going to talk about. We're
Okay,
gonna talk about ways to grow your business.
Okay,
which is perfect.
Yeah, because
Perfect
you do
question,
eventually
Allie.
run out of contacts to reach,
Yeah.
right? You're just all of a sudden like you only have a finite number that you start with, and you got to grow it past that. Right.
Because like we had, I think it was maybe the first meeting, she had us call, like go through her phone and do that thing that you suggest, like there's a number at the bottom of your phone and everyone's typing like 300 contacts. I'm like, I have 75. Like that means I'm literally not going to get anybody from my phone because it's not enough to create. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I just want to make sure.
No problem.
We'll cover that. I always like to have them go to the end of the phone and see how many contacts they have. It's interesting.
It's always good to see what numbers they come up with.
Yeah. I love that. Someone just put in that I'm ready. I am so ready to cold call 8 straight hours a day, but I have no list. Haha. That's great.
We'll talk about some people you can call. Absolutely. That's actually the next thing. Feed it consistently, right? So you should be adding 10 contacts a day. You should be reaching out to 10 a day, right? There's definitely different ways to do it.
Yeah, I used to do debt collecting. So like, I don't care. People are
So you are ready to call whoever.
Yeah, I'm like ready to like buy a dialer program and like just put the headset on and like go to town.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like you want to tell me like where I can go and like what I can put there. Like I don't care.
We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Like,
I do have a question for you because I there are two different people I found, right? So there's the people who really love to like cold call, and then there are people, and those people usually generally hate calling people they know. Are you one of those people?
yes. So I hate calling people I know. I'm like, hey, this is your friend from a long time ago, and I just want to sell you something. So not in a cheesy way though. We're still friends, right? Like,
We'll definitely talk about that too. Like you can't not talk to the people you know, right? And it kind of goes back to what Anthony had asked, right? I think it was Anthony. You got to come from a point of contribution, right? It comes down to who would you rather help your friends and family? Would you rather be like a agent, 2006 who you don't know does good business and could lead them down the wrong path, right? Or would you rather be you,
Right.
you know is going to do a good job and do their best to get the thing done, right?
Yeah.
So like it really comes to that, and how can you help them, right? In
Yeah.
different ways, and the way you ask is a huge makes a huge
Yeah. I think the main thing is you know, we're all humans outside of being real estate agents. So and me being like younger, I mean, I'm 25 years old, so
Melissa, I see that.
I know that I can be professional and can work very hard, but also like recently just watched me like go through my college phase. You know what I mean? So like I call them and it feels disingenuous to be like, I'm this very serious business person now. Like
you don't have to be. You can be yourself, right?
Yes.
You still have that heart.
No, for sure. For sure. But I'm just saying, like, I think that phenomena that you're talking about, where it's like people who are like really, really down with cold calling are like, there's like a degree of separation there where you don't have to like, you know, you have the professionalism, you know, you have all that stuff. But like when you're talking to somebody that has known you for your whole life or has known you for more than like a couple of, you know, months or so, you're like,
I feel the same exact way. That's my thing too. Like
Yeah.
I would much rather,
Yep,
because I'm coming from a sales job.
There
like
are
a
two types of people. They're the ones who hate cold calling, and are fine calling people they know. And then there's the opposite. Like love cold calling, will not call people they know.
Andrew, tell me if this like resonates with you, but like when you're in that sales or a cold calling situation, it's like take a ticket at a deli line, like on to the next. Like
Yeah, because they don't know you. So it's like if they
There's no
hate you, it's like, all right, whatever, let's go to the next one. Like
I don't care.
awkward, doesn't matter. Yeah.
I don't care.
All right, it's 10:05, we're back, and I do want to continue this conversation with everybody here because this is really important. So let me share my screen back up again here for a second. See if I can get it right. Yeah, okay, good. So developing a database, right? So we just kind of talked about how there's sort of like two different types of people who love to cold call and people who hate to cold call, and then they also have the same aversions but switched. There's the people who hate calling their personal relations, and there's people who who love calling their personal relations. And then it kind of goes back to once again mindset, right? So for those people who are afraid to reach out to people who they know, like family, friends, those kinds of things, right? Come from that point of contribution because they're afraid to ask, right? They're just afraid to ask for business, but don't be, right? But do it in a way that comes from the point of contribution. Hey, it's not just coming out and say like, hey, I need the business. Once again, it's coming out and saying, hey, like I have these vendor resources. Can I help you out? Like, hey, did you know that this is going on? I thought you might like to know about the mortgage rates. Like, it's amazing what's going on right now. Or, I'm like I said, I'm trying to help 12 families to this year. Can you help me? Right? It's how you approach it, which makes it different. And I'm going to add this too. A lot of people forget to reach out to their friends and family on a consistent basis. They should be a part of your quarterly calls as well, right? They should not be people you forget about. I cannot tell you how many people I have talked to, when people have come through my Ignite classes and they call their mother or their father or their brother or their sister, and they say a script, they ask for business, and then that person says, oh yeah, we're trying, I'm doing investing in real estate. I had a woman in one of my classes, she called her father, and her father said, oh yeah, I'm actually looking to invest in two properties. And I was like, oh my God, you just scored. And they wouldn't have known unless they had talked to their personal relation about business, right? Because they look at your personal relations, your families and your friends, they look at you first as that person. They look at you as the mother or the father or the sister or the brother or the friend, right? And you just have to remind them that, hey, I'm also doing business as well. I can tell you, this is my own personal story. I was doing Bold one time with a group of people, and they give you a script at the beginning of Bold, and we were making phone calls, and I just for fun called my husband, and I just started reading him a script, and he said, oh yeah, there's like 2 people in my office who are looking for homes. And I said, are you kidding me? Do you know what I do every single day? Like, am I here? Like, what am I doing? So it's so important to let people know, no matter if they're close with you or not, you got to remind them they have to be part of this whole system. They have to be part of you continuously reaching out to them. And if you have a fear of reaching out to them too, like, I'll say it again, I'll repeat it. Think about who you would want to help that person. Do you want it to be you? Or do you want it to be Joe Smith, agent, number 2064, who you don't know if they're going to do a good job or help them out, right? So it's super important. Just think of it that way, and that might help you out with that reach out, okay? Does that help you guys with that at all? All right, cool. All right. Oop, I think I went too far. Oop. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right. So feeding our database consistently, right? So growing your database. Now I know Haley just asked this question, like where do I find people, right? I only have so many people in my database. I gotta grow it, right? We should be adding 10 contacts for a database every single day. Where am I gonna find these people, right? Because it's even harder these days with COVID right now, right? We're going less places. We don't have a lot of places, so you got to get a little more creative these days, but it still works the same way, right? And there are 2 different types of ways to grow your database. You can do it. It could be marketing based, or it could be prospecting based, right? Marketing is very money intensive, right? So this is farming, right? Using postcards or, emails, or, you could do door knocking still, right? Those still, that is less of door knocking these days with COVID, but but you guys, those kinds of things, it's money intensive stuff, ads, in the paper, and not many people read the paper these days. So I hope you guys aren't really doing that. The radio ads, there's lots of different ways to do marketing. There's Facebook ads, right? We talked about that for a little bit, right? The Facebook ads, if you're going to do some sort of, instead of the paper, you might want to consider Facebook ads, right? Those are, a $30 investment will get you like 10,000, 16,000 views, right? And I actually liken it to farming, right? Because with farming with postcards, you're farming a neighborhood, right? So like you're hitting the same neighborhood on a consistent basis. Well, I can do it for cheaper on Facebook and hit a lot more people. If I target the same audience on a consistent basis, I'm doing the same exact thing, right? So if I have an ad going like every other week, right? It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a brand ad, like showing my face, it's the same idea. Now you're consistent, you're marketing to a data set instead of an address. Does that make sense? Right? It's brand recognition, but in a it's a totally different way.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead, Haley.
How do you do that? Like where do we create the Facebook ad?
So you do it in command.
Oh, okay.
And you do it in the campaign section. I definitely recommend that you reach out. Now you should have a Market Center tech trainer in your office. I definitely reach out to them and they will absolutely help you with this.
Yeah, I believe I have a meeting with him today actually, but I just haven't been able to use command because for some reason it's not working. Like there's nothing for me to click on, which is an issue we're trying to fix right now.
Good. Yeah, they should be able to help you right out. No problem.
And you can also do it from your Facebook business page as well. If you have a business page, you can do it there until you do get set up in command.
Right.
Okay, cool. I don't have one, but I will create one.
Yeah.
And you need one.
Yes.
Absolutely need one, right? Everybody here, raise your hand if you have a business page.
I have one.
Okay. I have some hands. I don't have a lot of hands. You guys need one.
Is a business page like a Facebook page that you use for business, or what is it?
Yes. The proper way to market yourself on Facebook is with a Facebook business page. You can kind of get yourself into trouble if you start marketing yourself on your personal page. You don't want to go to Facebook jail, let me tell you. So and you want to make sure that you're following the rules and regulations for your state as well. I know in Massachusetts, if we're advertising or if we're just talking about our business, like we're kind of trying to sell ourselves with our business, it has to be through our Facebook pages. We cannot do it through our personal pages. It has to be absolutely clear what office you belong to, right?
And you also have, you can also hit the demographics that you want to hit. There's, you can sort by many things. So having your Facebook business page is vitally important.
Yep, absolutely. And when you do your ads, you target a subset of people, right? Because you can do targeting through it. And your MCTT will walk you through this, but you can target certain groups of people. And if you target those same people in that same location again and again and again, you're hitting the same exact people again and again and again. It's like sending a postcard to a geographical location.
Maggie, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
My team has like a business, like a Facebook business page. Should I have like a personal business page within that?
You should also have your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Cool. Brooke, do you have a question?
No, I was just raising my hand that I had a team as well.
Okay.
I mean, a Facebook page.
Yeah, there's a lot of hands raised from that. I just wanted to let you know, Michelle just put something in, looks like a YouTube channel on Scott Leroy's Facebook ad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, please talk to your MCTT. They will definitely walk you through that.
Mm-hmm.
So marketing too, this is funny. This is a great return on investment. Wear a name tag, wear a name badge where you go out. Seriously, can't tell you how many times I've worn my name badge out to like a Starbucks or something like that, and people will approach me and just say, "Hey, you're in real estate." It is the weirdest.
How about your realtor pin? How about your realtor pin?
That
Wear your realtor.
too. Yep, I can't tell you. Like, I have been pushing my daughter on the swings, and someone just got into a conversation about real estate with me. It is the weirdest thing. I do not understand, but the power of the name badge totally works. So it's an interesting little market, right? It's kind of passive marketing, right? You also need to do other places that you can go if you belong to a group, right? Or a forum, or you have to make sure you check your rules too. And you don't want to just, if you belong to a group, you don't want to just like come out and be like, "Hey, real estate," right? It's part of the just natural process of getting to know people. I do know one of the coolest things I have heard. I had an agent who was in Bold, and she was brand new. She moved from South Carolina up here, and she had no database up here, nothing. And she was just racking her brain on trying to find out ways to grab business. So one of the things that she did was she attended a spin class every weekend. And so she hired a professional spin class person, the professional spin instructor, to come in, and she sponsored it as herself as a real estate agent. And she collected all the names and numbers of the people who came in. And it was a very organic way for her to do it because it was something she was passionate about. People then began to know her as a real estate agent, right? So it was very, very cool. I thought it was a very unique idea. So you got to get creative in some of these different ways, right? To really grow out and branch out.
And Maggie, I would always say, wear your realtor pin. Once you become a realtor member of the National Association of Realtors, I wear my realtor pin everywhere I go. Doesn't matter if I'm just going to the grocery store in my sweats, it doesn't matter. I wear it. It starts conversations. They'll say, "What does that mean?" Oh, realtor, that's right. I've seen that. I've seen the advertisement, because we spend a lot of money on advertising the National Association. So, I think that wearing your realtor pin will get you some conversations as well.
Yep. So remember, when we do marketing, right, that's a long-term thing, right? It's the stuff that we're doing it consistently. It's like nurturing a database almost, like it's nurturing an area or marketing, and that will lead to business in the long term, right? You're not going to get facial recognition after one ad or one postcard or something like that. It takes a few times to actually build a business that way. Now, prospecting is a little more time intensive, right? It takes more time, but it's more proactive and you get more immediate results. So what do you guys think that some prospecting activities are to grow your database?
This is the interactive part.
Door knocking.
Door knocking is prospecting. Yep.
Cold calling. Cold
calling is prospecting.
Looking up FSBOs?
Yes. Yes, I was hoping someone would say FSBOs and expireds. Yes, FSBOs and expireds. Those are both prospecting opportunities. Best thing about FSBOs and expireds are there people who want to sell their home, right? Like, they want to sell their home. You just have to convince them to use you, right? So there's definite. The nice part about those is that's actual business. That's why it's immediate, right? FSBO and expired want to sell their home, and expired wanted to sell their home, but there was something that got in their way. Maybe you can help them.
Question: what's a FSBO or what?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. The first sale by owner.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. No, it's a good question. I'm sure somebody else didn't know that either. So, first sale by owner. So people who are trying to sell on their own. There's actually one down the street from me. If anybody wants to grab that one, I would recommend you go get them. People try to sell their home all the time by themselves. They think they can do it. They think they're saving money that way. They are absolutely not. And you just got to learn the scripts on how to help them see the light on that. And expireds, they had some sort of bad experience, and you need to figure out how to get around that. Jill, you have a question?
I do. I was wondering if you could cover or at least send us to a location where we can learn how to use the do not call list so that we're not calling people who have asked not to be called.
The do not call list.
I'm not sure how that works.
Actually, we're going to be covering that.
Okay, good. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Don't worry.
Partnering's a good way to prospect a little bit too. Partnering is partnering. My mic is terrible.
Yes,
Partnering with people like estate sale businesses or like roofing businesses or
great idea.
attorney.
Yeah, so that's a matter of building your vendor list and asking them for referrals, and you'll give them referrals as well.
Yep.
So that's your vendor list.
Yep, absolutely. And then one last thing you guys didn't mention, no one mentioned, was open houses. Open houses are great, right? That's another source of people who actually want to do something. Usually it's buy, and so those people have to sell something in order to buy something. So open houses is a great way as well.
So Maggie, if they're new to the business and don't have a listing, well, why not ask somebody in your office if you can do an open house for them? Why not? And make the deal that you get to keep the buyers that come to the open house.
So this is
might
huge.
be a good way to gain some business.
Huge, guys. I love this. This is my favorite thing. I literally tell all my new agents, go make friends. Go make friends, please. Go. An agent is not going to pick you out of the blue to run their open house. It's just not going to happen. You have to go meet them, give them a call, ask for a cup of coffee, ask them to chat, go take them out for a cup of coffee, ask them if you can shadow one of their open houses first. That way they can see that how they run their open houses and how they like it. And you can talk to them later about great, now I can run your open houses. Is there possible ability I can run on my own? Is that all right? You get the next one you need help with, right? So, go make friends, please.
And Ashley, Maggie, Ashley has asked, I'm not sure where to begin to create a postcard, and just letting her know in command there's designs, and you can create pretty much anything in designs, because you have to be very careful about copyright laws on the photographs that you grab. So command will give you a good basis for that.
Yep, either take your own photos or use one of the ones that KW provides. That's just generally.
Quick question. I'm sorry. The FSBO, is that something that you get from the MLS or just driving around and seeing them?
So you can grab it off of different places. There are places that list FSBOs. Zillow actually lists FSBOs. There is a way to look through Zillow. Sometimes you'll see them in the classifieds and things along those lines as well. So if you scour those kinds of places, you'll be able to find some FSBOs. Most of them put them on Zillow these days. Okay. Any questions about where to find some business?
Melissa has asked, what if you don't have money to join classes or anything to meet people? Okay, that's a good question.
Okay.
Do you go to the grocery store?
I do. Well,
yeah,
not more.
I think we all do. You can meet people there.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean, that's part of wearing your name badge around, right?
And your pins, yeah.
Right, or buying a cup of coffee for the next person in the Starbucks line or the Dunkin' Donuts line, right? I'm a Dunkin' Donuts girl.
Everywhere you go, we should be wearing a KW mask. It's right there on your face.
There you go.
Good idea, Tracy. I love that.
Quick question: where are we getting these like name tags and pins?
Oh, you can get those. Talk to your leadership, but there's definitely on KW, my KW, there's a vendor list.
Oh, okay.
And it lists, there's a long list of vendors. You can literally find anything you're looking for in there.
And your the realtor pin will come to you when you get sworn into the Realtor Association. You should get a realtor pin. And if they don't give you one, ask your leadership. They should be able to give you one.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You can volunteer your time too in different places, right? You don't like join groups, join organizations, you know, don't just join it to join. I'm gonna like definitely put some caveats on this, right? Do something that is of interest to you, get involved in your community, right? This will help you solidify yourself as a go-to, as somebody who is actually very, you know, rooted in the community that you live in. And so you can absolutely really turn it and make yourself a known person and become a local expert, really. So, yep.
Another thing too is doing events. You know, now that goes back to the marketing part, but you know, doing an event, I'm doing an event and it's outdoors. It's partnered with my Humane Society. And it's to adopt a dog or a cat. And I have a vendor coming from PetSmart. I have a veterinarian coming, setting up different booths. And it's really not going to cost a lot of money. The only thing it's going to cost is little doggy bags. And, you know, have an event.
Yep, absolutely. I'll double down on that. How about a first-time home buyer seminar?
Yeah.
That's super easy to run. And I'm guaranteeing you, if you hook up with a mortgage company, you will not have to pay for a thing. They will pay for your doggy bags and all that stuff. Like they will absolutely. And people are running those kinds of things now and getting serious business for it. A lot of people want to buy homes. They're just running into issues. And if we can solve them, we can help out here. So yeah, they're all great ideas. Excellent.
And Red Day for Keller Williams is coming up, right? You can kind of host some kind of, you know, giving back event. It's a good time to do it.
The best lead generation exercise anybody can have. I don't know why people don't advertise this and they're to their database. Literally, if you're doing something that involves a donation, which a lot of market centers are doing, reach out. It is the best lead generation you can absolutely do. It's just like, hey, my office is doing this. Can you help? Right? Like it's just really great local charity help out stuff.
We're doing a drive-through. We're doing a drive-through and asking all of our customers and clients to bring canned goods and certain products to drive through and drop off.
I get very excited about that. I don't know why no one reaches out to their database. You can tell it gets me like, go ahead and do something about it. So yeah, there's definitely ways to reach out. All right. Any questions on anything we just went over about feeding your database? All right, cool. Let's talk about segmenting it into groups. This is big too. So this is what I also get very passionate about this. How do we organize our database so that we can reach out to certain people regarding certain things, right? And that's with groups, right?
Maggie,
tags.
I'm sorry. Someone just said, what is Red Day? And that's a really great question.
All right. Red Day is the second week? The second week of May, every Thursday of May.
May 13th this year.
May 13th this year. It is based around Mo Anderson's birthday. If you don't know who Mo Anderson is, she's one of the founding ladies of culture of Keller Williams. The Velvet Hammer, they call her, and she's awesome. And in honor of her, every office in Keller Williams closes its doors and goes out into its community to give time, energy, and or supplies or whatever to help out in their community. So your office is more than likely doing something. Talk to your team leader or your leadership, and they will definitely talk to you about what their office is doing. And it's an awesome day. It's one of my favorite days. I have so many Red Day shirts. It's like a collection. So it's great. I absolutely love it. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking. Okay, so tags. Tags are super important. What ways can we organize our database, right? So this one is actually relatively easy. We can segment into people, and this is the way I like to tell people who are struggling with how to do what tags to do. I say organize your tags and organize your people in ways you would lead generate or ways that you could possibly think of marketing to them. Because in order to market to people in your database, you need to pull out a certain segment of person, right? So, and they have some examples here, right? Business relationships, someone who hasn't done any business yet, right? So a lead or someone who's come in from a certain source. An active client, someone who's actively a buyer or seller, great tags. Past client, that's a great tag. Anybody I've worked with in the past. Someone who's referred business, right? That's like a VIP is almost the same thing, but someone's referred business, you might have an actual tag for. A VIP, you might have an actual tag for. And then we're going into hobbies and interests, right? Are they a sports person? Do they like a certain team? Do they like golf or whatever? Like the different ways that you could possibly market things to them. Do they like to hike, outdoor activities, right? That'd be a great tag if you want to send out something regarding a local event. Kids, that's a great one if there's something going on. Pets, if there's like a rabies clinic, right? You want to be able to, in the area, we want to be able to pull everybody who has pets and tell them there's a rabies clinic going on, like the truck's going to be in. Property type could be a good tag. Investors, vendors, so you can pull out vendors in your database. Family, friends, sphere of influence, right? The people who come in through Facebook and open house, right? You need to be able to pull those people at any given time so you can market something specific. A town they live in, right? Let's just say it's like Westwood Day and you need to email everybody that you're going to be at Westwood Day and they should come visit your tent, right? You can send an email to everybody who lives in Westwood to come visit you, right? All different great ways to organize your database. I'd love to hear from some of you what some ideas you have for tags.
Kind of touched on it there for a second, but I live right on a golf course. So like pretty much anyone that I've met around the golf course, I throw like that golf course tag on it. So Perfect. If I want to like reach out to them, I can do it that way.
Love it.
My son's T-ball teams, like the parents and the coaches and anyone who I've come into influence with their
T-ball parents or T-ball, right? That'd be a great little tag for you. So you can just reach out into that database and send them something specific. Absolutely.
I like one of the ideas they shared in one of the sessions, and it was tagging them by like my top clients who you're going to send gifts to for the holidays, or the ones you're going to invite to, specific events. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep, no, absolutely. That's like kind of the VIP idea, right? So the very important people will get actually something from you, like an actual physical gift from you. Yep. Or if I'm doing Pi Day with them, the Pi Day get a Pi Day tag. Absolutely.
So I'm actually new to this and never used this system before. I'm just trying to shoot out ideas. I don't know if this would work, but what if someone is interested in selling or buying, but they've objected to you for some reason? Would you be able to tag it in that way?
Yep, I mean, you could come up with a tag for that. I would also use opportunities in that instance as well, as a follow-up in opportunities. Like maybe you know they're going to sell within, they're trying to sell within like 6 months. I probably have them in my cultivate phase in my opportunities, so they can follow along with them and follow up consistently and have them in a certain smart plan. Absolutely. Yep. Here's one. Who knows what the DTD2 is? You guys may not know what that is. Anybody?
Do the database too.
Do the database too, right? And that is every week you're supposed to contact 2 letters of the alphabet, right? 2 last names. It's a very systematic way of doing it. It's like you do A and W, and then there's 2 more, and then there's 2 more until it's designed so that you hit everybody in your database once a quarter. You can absolutely tag your people with the DTD2, right? So like tag all your A&Ws, so you can just pull up your A&Ws, and then you can just make phone calls down the list.
And you can take a look at under education in your internet. It's called Never Ending Referrals. And that's where that came from. It's a great class. And it shows you actually how to do it.
It's very cool. I love it. Yeah, it's just a way to make sure it's designed so that you have no holes in your database, meaning you don't skip somebody because you don't want to talk to them. I don't know about you, but I know there's definitely people out there who be like, man, I really don't want to talk to that guy. Or, man, I haven't talked to him in 3 years. Maybe I'll just skip that one. No, don't do it. Talk to him. Talk to him. It's a great script for those people you haven't talked to in like 3 years. He just says, hey, I just joined Keller Williams. I'm working on building my database and your name came up and I realized I haven't talked to you in 3 years and I am so sorry. How are you doing, man? What's going on? Right? And you just have a nice little conversation. You don't even have to ask him about real estate that first time, right? You can just say, and at the end, you just say, hey, you know what? I don't want it to be another 3 years till I contact you again. Do you mind if I call you in a couple months just to see how you're doing? Awesome. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. Right? It's a great, easy script. So don't miss people. Okay. So tags are super important. You think about ways you would have to send people marketing or lead generate and build tags around those. And here's a little tidbit. This is getting a little fancy, but this is because I'm the MCTT. So you can actually also dig deeper into tags with something called custom fields. And that absolutely helps sort your database on top of it. So it helps me dig into a tag. So if I have a tag called kids, I am going to have a custom field called kids names so that I can write down the kids names. It's nothing worse than not knowing the kids names when you're talking to somebody.
Or their dog.
Or their dog, right? So, or dogs' names, right? There's some people, like little fur babies, absolutely. If I have a tag called vendors, I'm going to have a custom field that says what type of vendor they are, right? And the best thing about it is it's a searchable field so that when I type in, if I have a plumber, and so I have a custom tag called vendor, I have a tag called vendor, and I have a custom field called the type of vendor, and it's plumber. If I search for the word plumber, all my plumbers pop up. So the custom fields is a way for you to dig deeper and to put more information in on people, which is super important. Tags are very, very important. They help you because, like I said before, if you don't have tags, you're not gonna be able to pull information from your database. And a database that doesn't give you information is no good. It's just a phone book at that point in time, just a list of names and numbers. Okay. It also helps you market on a consistent basis. When you use smart plans or emails, the way you grab a group of people to put them on these things is by pulling tags. So I need to have tags on people, okay? So tags is super, super important.
I'm curious, Maggie, those that are using Command, how many are using tags and what are they? Michelle.
I just started using tags. I imported all my contacts onto Command, but I was just using the normal like Spear or people I knew, or like buyer or seller. I wasn't using any custom tags. Actually, the class yesterday, the instructor actually gave us a perfect like example for what color code and everything that you can use. So I'm gonna see if I could send it and put it into the chat before this ends.
Good.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah, they taught us how to filter the tags too. So when we want to just look at our buyers or whatever we've listed as our tags, whether it's vendors, seller, whatever, how we can click the filter button and it pulls up just those names, then how you can create the smart plan for those tags or anything. So that was really, really good class.
Super important, right? This is why the tags are so important because I need to be able to filter for them so I can send the right smart plan to the right people. It's that sort of Netflix-like experience. It's the one-to-one instead of the one-to-many. So I want to send them stuff that applies to them. Absolutely. All right. Okay. So you guys kind of sounds like you guys had an example. Do you guys want to see how to add tags to people, or did you go over that? Because I can absolutely do it, or should I do it? Because there might be people here who weren't here yesterday.
I think we did go over that, but if someone wants it, I guess they can speak for themselves.
If you wouldn't mind doing a quick one, I would appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely. And then what I'll do too is I'll show you how to do a custom field on top of it. How about that? So we'll add a little layer to it. Okay. All right. So hold on one second. All right. I'm just going to jump into my database here. All right. Can you guys see my command screen? I see. Okay. Nods. All right. Cool. All right. So there's a couple ways you can add a tag, right? So the first being right in an actual contact. If I am creating a contact on the fly, there's that. So if I'm, sorry, let me slow down a little bit, my bad. In the contact section, I can add a contact individually. So if I add a contact, I can fill in the information and there's a place for me to add tags. If my tag is already in there, I can just type it and it'll be there for me to select. If it is something that's not in there, I can type in something like, do I have one of these? I do, shoot. I know I don't have one of those. Right, so if I have a tag, let's just say I have somebody who lives in Andover, but I don't have a tag for them yet, I can go ahead and create a custom tag right here. I don't need to go into any other place. So I can hit a create a custom tag. I can choose a color for it. And you guys talked about colors before. So if let's just say my color for places is purple. So I'll do purple and I'll hit add and it adds the tag. And now that's a tag that's available for everybody from now on out, right? So if I get rid of this, so that's how to do one on the fly. Yep, question?
When I try to do it on my end, under tags, I don't get that option of creating my own.
You don't get the, sorry, you don't get the like,
No, I don't get the option of creating my own. So like if I try to say like I'm trying to put that, you know, this person is my accountant, instead of giving me the option to create it, it says no options.
Interesting. It could be, it's tough to, you might need to talk to your MCTT about it. It could be that you're too zoomed in. Could be that the browser is, I don't know what browser you're using. It could be that as well. Chrome? Okay, so you're using the right browser, that's fine. It could be that you're too zoomed in that you can't see this as well. I have seen that happen before, to myself, actually. If you're still having problems, please reach out to your MCTT. They should be able to help you, okay?
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah. Other place you can go ahead and do it is in the settings section. You are going to have under command settings and contacts, you're going to see contact tags. And this is where you go to manage your tags. You can go ahead and you can edit a tag. You can go ahead and delete tags. You can look at all of your tags. You can create a tag from here as well. And this is sort of your huge database of your custom tags here. So these are all existing here. Now I had mentioned custom fields briefly. So a custom field is where you can really, like I said, dive down deep into certain tags. So like I said, if I do a pie event, I'm gonna have a custom field that says favorite pie, so I can just pull up everybody who wants cherry. If I have favorite sports teams, so like if I do different magnets, and I want to be able to send it to everybody football to everybody who's love Patriots, then I'm gonna have favorite sports teams. Kids names for kids, price range, right? That's a good custom field if I know they're a buyer. Vendor type, what December holidays do they celebrate? Like what kind of pets do they have, right? So like all of these are great to dive deep into a tag, right? So
and the
really
tags, oh, sorry. And the tags are what you said we can use for if you're putting in people's pets or the names of their children.
So the tag would be pets for me, and the custom field would be what kind of pet they have. Or the tag would be kids, and the custom field would be kids' names.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense? So it helps me dive deeper into that person, right? And the cool thing is it's searchable. So let's just say I am doing something where I need to send something to everybody who likes the Patriots. So I could spell it right. And these are my people who like the Patriots, because I have a custom field in there and they both like the Patriots, right? So that if I'm going to send them magnets, they both pop up. Or if I need a plumber, oops, I'm going to get my plumbers. Here's my Peter Plumber. So yeah, so the custom tags are searchable, which makes it even like super helpful, super helpful to really dive into stuff. And I can pull that information too, just like a tag. So it's very helpful in order for my organization as well.
I had a question. I also can't see the custom tags, and I'm part of a team. So I'm wondering, is it because the team?
Good question. Yes, if you are working in the team side of things, so the team sandbox,
okay,
you will not be able to create custom tags.
Okay, great.
That might be the reason why the other person who talked about it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. No, that's it. So yeah, the tags are controlled by the Rainmaker. If you have an idea, you should speak to your Rainmaker so they can add that for you. If you're in the personal side of things, and for people who are not on teams, that should work for you. Okay. All right. Great questions. Any questions on tags or custom fields in organization? Neato for you. Let me go back, to sharing my screen here, and we will continue from current slides. Ta-da. Whoops. All right, perfect. Okay. So now that we've segmented our people into groups, we need to engage it with some sort of touch plan, right? So we need to consistently lead generate to the people in our database, and we need to have our system work for us, so that's leveraging some of the stuff for us. So there's two types of main campaigns, right? There's the 19 to connect, which is for leads, and there's the 36 to convert, which is your contacts, okay? So leads are people we've only had really one-way conversations with. So they're the people we get like a list of items from the open houses, or we get names from Facebook ads, those kinds of things. Those are your leads, and we need to convert those. We need to move the leads to the contacts, right? So in order to do that, we need to have a two-way conversation with them. And the way we like to do that, and this is built over time. If anybody read the MREA book, this is all based on the MREA book. If you haven't read the Red Book, pick it up. It's written by somebody I know. His name is Gary Keller, for those who don't know. So it is really the blueprint for a successful business, and it talks about this stuff and the best way to reach out to people. So in 19 to connect, it's 4 touches by phone. It's 12 touches by email, newsletter, market report, video. It's 2 touches by some sort of like mail item or a magnet or a market report, right? And it's 1 touch by like some sort of annual event, a party, move or go to get together, right? So those are the formula there. And whatever you put in there is up to you. Make it very personal to you, but you do need to do a 19 touch, and that should help you convert them into a contact, right? And the contact is when we do a 36 to connect, which is 4 touches by telephone, because we need to contact our sphere 4 times a year, right? Once a quarter. 26 touches via email or postcard or some sort of thing like that, the automatic lead gen stuff, that automagic stuff, right? That is the 26 touches for the most part. 2 touches by some sort of event or a touch, like a get together, a party, and 4 touches such as a direct mail or a magnet or like a card, like a birthday card or an anniversary card, those kinds of things, right? However you plan this, right? It is up to you. Like your different pieces may be different than somebody else's, but this is where smart plans come in handy. They come in big handy, right? So one of the things that I love to touch is your 4 touches. Is there a smart plan for that? Do you guys know? Anybody?
Sure there is. I don't know personally, but I'm sure there is one.
There is. There's a quarterly call plan that is already lit. And basically what it does is it makes command remind you to call people in your database 4 times a year. That's all it does. So you get a task 4 times a year for that particular contact that you need to pick up the phone and call them, right? So there's 4 touches taken care of already. Does anybody else know of any other default smart plan that you can grab from KW that might be good for your part of your 26 touches? It's called your neighborhood nurture. I know I get a lot of groans when it comes to the neighborhood nurture, but the neighborhood nurture only works if you have addresses for your people, but it is 12 touches, 1 a month, that literally just tells them what's going on in their neighborhood. That's it. That's all it does. So now, go ahead.
Is there a way for the 4 touches quarterly phone calls to set it up? So if I have, 300 people in my database and I set them all up on this quarterly, I don't want them all to show up as my to-do on the same day.
Oh, no, that would be terrible, wouldn't it?
Right. Is there a way to set it up so that it would stagger?
Yes. In fact, that is one of your options when you set up a smart plan. You can set them to stagger, which means you get an option as to how many you want to do a day. So if I only want to do like 5 touches a day,
okay, great.
It'll like stagger the plan out so that you don't have 350 phone calls to do in one day. Cause that would be tough. If you could do it, I'll give you a medal. I'll give you
No, I definitely cannot do that.
Yeah, no, it's a rough, that's rough, right? So if I just have everybody on some sort of monthly touch through a smart plan, plus the quarterly phone call, and even if I'm just putting a reminder in to call them 4 times a month, I've already gotten 16 of my 36 touches taken care of, right? So we're already well on our way. We can start adding things to that. Like some people like doing a monthly newsletter, right? There are absolutely designs that you can use that go out monthly. I myself have built smart plans that sends out a newsletter every month to my people. And it just goes automatically. I don't have to think about it, right? I have it pre-planned out. My marketing is set up and ready to go. So it just goes, right? And I can take care of my 30 of those touches automatically. That's a lot. If you set up your smart plans in the right way, even if you want to set them up for different people, right? But you can just do the basics for 30 of those touches. You're doing pretty well for yourself. And anything on top of that is gravy, right? So if I'm doing something for Westwood, if I'm doing something for a town or one of those interests, those are my extra 6 touches, right? On top of it. And I don't have to think about it too much. All right. The smart plans will really, really, really help you with doing some of these touches just by yourself, right? Do you guys all know about the smart plan library? Who doesn't? Does anybody not know about the smart plan library?
Do tell.
Do tell. Okay, good. So in Command, there's a whole section called smart plans. And when you walk in there is your smart plans and there's a library. And the library is just filled with automatic smart plans, right? And because people are sharing, the Keller Williams has its own 10 straight, but then everybody else is sharing their smart plans. And there is plenty of Sphere follow-up and lead gen in there that you can absolutely use. You can download them and you can edit them to fit your own business. So you don't have to recreate the wheel here. You don't have to build them yourself. You just need to go in and activate them. This is a great time to talk with your MCTT or attend some classes. I do know if there's nothing going on, we have recordings. The region has an entire database of videos of how to do this stuff. So reach out to your people, to your leadership and watch some of those videos. They can help you set up these automatic lead gen touches. This is what makes your database exceptional when you can leverage this stuff. Okay. But yes, but you need to touch your people 36 times a month, right? And it's because if anybody's seen Jason Abrams, it looks like a bunch of hills and valleys, right? At the top of the valley, that's when you just sold the house, right? So you've been contacting this person all this time and then you stop contacting them, right? So if you stop contacting them, someone else could pick them up, right? And you don't want to lose people in your database. Now is the time you just need to consistently lead generate to your people, okay? Questions?
Someone says they're not familiar with Smart Plans. They are in Command. It's on, when you're down on the side, you just click on Smart Plans.
Yeah, I think it's the third or fourth one.
Yeah.
If you hit the little KW red button at the top left, it will expand those and it will tell you exactly what each one of those little applets are. So that definitely helps out a lot of people. But talk to your MCTT. They will absolutely help you set up Smart Plans. They will be happy to. In fact, they'll be thrilled. We love it when people get excited about this stuff. So go ahead.
I will say too, on YouTube, there's like little 66-day command training.
Marty
It's
Miller.
like a 10-minute.
Miller.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's like Marty Miller. It's like a 5 to 10 minute video every day. That's
My
worth
man
checking out.
Marty, the 66
Somebody posted that in the chat. So
Okay.
go to the chat and you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I
He is
love
awesome.
Marty. He is the best. Yes, and he updates that stuff regularly. So he absolutely, it's all up to date. If you watch the newest ones, it's all up to date, right? A lot of times, and I will have you guys be aware of this, make sure you're looking at the date of the stuff you're watching on YouTube, because a lot of it's old out there. And I've got a lot of people who get confused about stuff because they're trying to follow some old directions that don't have any value anymore. So make sure you're watching the new stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I actually went on there last night and I was looking for a command type of trainership video or whatever, and it was from 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
don't know how current
No
this
good.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go right into, it just said Marty Miller is great. You can also do the New England region YouTube channel. Every Thursday, the MCTTs have been running a class about technology, and they have all of the recordings up there of the most recent one that we've just done. So that'll help.
And
you.
Jay Cernak is also very good.
Very good as well. Okay, so tend to your database, right? So the first thing here is we have build a culture around testimonials and reviews, right? This is about referrals and having your people write reviews. Bonnie, do people have reviews even if they've never sold a house before? They do, don't they? How would you recommend they get a review from somebody who hasn't sold their house before?
How about someone that they used to work with? Someone that they used to work with that might have knows their integrity.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It doesn't have to be about how you bought and sold a house. It could be just about how hard a worker you are, how reliable you are, how trustworthy you are, right? And you can get that from pretty much anybody. Most people here have a friend, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a team leader, anybody. They will absolutely happily write you a review, right? A testimonial. It doesn't have to be about how you helped them sell. Those will come, right? As they said, but as you do business, but you absolutely, every single one of you here has a testimonial. You just have to ask somebody for it. It doesn't have to say, Maggie is awesome. And it doesn't have to say my mom, Maggie's mom underneath it. It's Robin's first name, right? So you'll be fine. You can grab your testimonials that way. Absolutely. So you can build those reviews and your testimonials over time, but you do have some people there, and you don't have to just rely on your own business. Rely on your market center's business. We are a team, right? So use our numbers, use our language of real estate, right? So how well we do compared to the others in our market. Your team leader should have those numbers. You can grab those and use those for your marketing, right? So it's definitely stuff that you can absolutely use. Okay. Questions about that?
Where can you get your friends or people you work with to write a review on you?
So you can do it in a bunch of different places. You can just have them write something and you can post it different places. You can absolutely, there's a space on your website, you can build a testimonial page that you can have for that. You absolutely want it written down too, so you can throw it into your listing presentations and your buyer presentations. You can have them write it on Google. You can have them write it on Facebook. You can have them write it on or you could just get it and post it in all these different places for them. Zillow also has reviews, but they've been kind of faltering lately as they've become a brokerage. So I'm not necessarily going to push that at the moment, but but there's different places they can leave a review. All right. Okay. Okay. Regular update and prune your database, right? So this is about, we got to make sure that we have up-to-date information in our database. And the only way to do that is to consistently reach out to people, right? And we got to make sure that we're continuously growing our database, which we talked about when we talked about feeding it consistently. Okay.
And I like the word pruning, because so if something's not working in your database, the contact has never responded or anything, that's what you do. You prune it. You get rid of that contact because it's probably not a good contact, and why spend the time? But you got to remember, time over time. So give it some time.
Absolutely. Okay. Recapping time. Give me some ahas. What did you guys learn so far?
One thing you just said about the testimonials and reviews, I never would have thought that those would have counted towards now, since I haven't sold any real estate yet. So that was good to know that we can use that.
Absolutely counts. One of my top producers actually gives out her resume. She used to give out her resume of what she did before. People just want to know that you just weren't sitting on the couch, right? Like, it's pretty cool.
I didn't realize that Command had so many resources for like advertising and stuff.
Cool.
I'm kind of wondering, so if so I'm brand new to this, and but you said like the testimonials and things like that. Would that be kind of a good way to reach out to coworkers that you've worked with before, but you haven't kept kind of in touch with them, with like through Facebook with a like here and there or something? But if you just reached out to them and told them what you're doing, and would they be willing to write a testimonial review for you? Would that be an okay way?
That is a great idea, Beth. I love that. That is awesome. It, like, not only does it get the word out that you're in real estate and you're asking for help too. And people love to help. Boy, do they love to help. It is just it's in people's nature. I know we don't feel like that sometimes, but it is in people's nature to help each other. So it's a great idea to reach out like that. That is a great touch. Great idea.
Maggie, when you were talking about reviews and saying, like she was just saying, call a past worker and have them give a review, but don't they actually have to be the ones to put the review, say, into Google or Facebook?
Yeah. So if they're doing it for you, like, you can send them some links directly to like how they can actually go ahead and do in those certain locations. So it's up to you if you want to. I mean, you could theoretically do it for them. It's not definitely recommended for those two types of things. So you might say like, hey, do you mind putting it here or here?
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can send them the links to like, oh, here's my Facebook page. You mind leaving me a review, right? Or you can even set some sort of contest around it. I know people who do this, like, and I'm sure you guys have seen contests around people who like want to get themselves seen on social media. Like, if you like me here and you just leave me a review here, you get certain points. And if you do enough points, you get a particular, like, you could win a prize, right? Those kinds of things. So there's definitely different ways to do it. Cool. Anybody else?
I have to say with the tags, and it goes back, like you just spoke about it today, and then in our other session, where I have a spreadsheet where I had all my contacts, but now I have Command, and I didn't realize I had to keep on going to my spreadsheet to kind of see like who is active and who I'm working with now. But now with tagging and the smart view, I can just do it there. So yeah. It makes it so much easier. And I'm like, well, I have to use two different things, but now that I can use Command for that, I think that was cool. I love organizing and color coding things. So that was
organizing is so cool, isn't it?
Yeah. So now I can look at them all in one area.
Yeah, I definitely meet through three different types of people when I show them, and I can definitely tell them right away when I show them the colors for the tags. There's people who don't care, there's people who love the colors, and then there's people who think there aren't enough colors. So, which one are you?
We aren't enough colors.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Any other?
Maggie, I just put in how they can do Google reviews in the chat. So I gave them some instructions there. And remember, you just met all new people here. Help each other. Write a review for each other.
Great idea. I love that. That's awesome. I know we make new friends here, right? Absolutely lean on each other for this kind of stuff, right? If you haven't made a friend here and you aren't doing script practice with somebody in this room right now, make a friend, literally, like, you know, get something together. So every morning you might call each other and practice a script or do something along those lines, or practice something, or write reviews for each other, right? This is a great opportunity to meet people who are in the same spot as you and you're going through the same thing.
And hold each other accountable. You know, have you made your 10 calls today? Accountability partners are the best.
They are. You can meet ahead of time before you start. You practice your scripts ahead of time, then tell each other how many you're going to contact, and then reconvene after your lead gen hours and then talk about how many you did hit. It's a great idea. Absolutely. Any other ahas? Okay. All right, if there are no other ahas, we're going to take a quick break, because after this, we're going to start doing some script practice with each other. So how long do you think? 5 or 10 minutes, Bonnie?
Let's see what the group wants.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, what do you guys want?
Show us by hands, 10 or 5? 5. Okay.
All right, go get some.
We want 10.
They want 10. There you go.
All right, we're doing 7 then. We're splitting the difference.
Exactly.
So I would love everybody here back at 11:12. 11:12, guys.
Could I ask a quick question?
Sure, John. What's up?
Yeah. I saw Bonnie's link, well, just the instructions for the Google.
Yeah.
Is that the best for reviews, do you think? And does it have to be a past client, or can it just be people you've worked with, or how does that work?
I personally think that Zillow, because most consumers know Zillow, I would get people to go on Zillow and do a review for you, even though Zillow is now becoming a brokerage.
Yeah.
But there's so many other platforms that you can get reviews. You can use realtor.com. You can use all of those and have people write them for you. Doesn't have to be a past client. It, like we just said, like Maggie was talking about, it can be someone you know from past work. Even a friend.
Family, yeah, doesn't, like someone who just knows you well enough to write you a good review.
Yeah.
Right?
Really? So there's no
criteria.
Okay.
No.
Because like, for instance, we do a vacation rental with VRBO, and of course, any reviews there have to be, somebody that's come from that platform, but not the case with all of these other methods.
Well, they do review them, but as long as they don't say anything naughty.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no bad words in it.
Really.
But they don't have to be an authorized somehow.
No.
No.
Okay.
Because remember, John, when people work with us, right, it's not necessarily how many homes we've sold or how many, like those kinds of things, or how many homes we help people buy, or that.
Yeah.
It's about how much people trust us, right? We could be up against like someone who's done a ton of real estate, and if that person does not jive with the person they're trying, like they're not going to pick them. It really is. We're dealing with people's biggest asset. Like it's amazing, like the amount of trust that people put into us. So it's not just about our experience, right? Experience comes with time. It's about the relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking, I'm trying to figure out maybe how to leverage some of that. I'm kind of like part-time. I've been an agent for a little better than a year and a half, but we do have like I'm also own a 4 unit building that I rent all the time. for many years. And we also have a vacation rental that we have a lot of success. So I'm constantly, aware of the reviews for, the platform for Airbnb and VRBO, and done really well with that, and thinking maybe I could somehow, once you get a person that's you really click with, I could leverage that over a little bit to the Google review maybe. Would that,
Sure, why
the
not?
problem is,
I think that's
even-
great, John.
even when somebody rents your vacation place, we're on 5 sites, so I'm kind of hesitant to put them to work, to review everything. So I'm trying to figure out, for real estate, what's the best
I mean, John, if you have a
avenues.
lot of places you want them to go, then do something like I had mentioned before, make it a contest, right? You get points for how many like places you follow and review, right? And the more points you have, the more likely you are to win whatever it is you're trying to get rid of.
That's with Google?
For Google, like if you want to do a Google review, a Facebook review, a Zillow review, like have it be a contest. If you do this, like my page, do this, like you get points for every single thing. You get 1 entry for doing each of these things. And then if you have enough, and then there you pick a winner at the end of like a week.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like a contest.
People love contests. They will do anything
Yeah.
for yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know. That's one thing that drives me a little crazy. I'm kind of an older guy, and I kind of see that, in real estate, that a lot of times the brokerages are always like have a carrot in front of people, and
Yeah, carrots really work.
Yeah, I guess
They really do.
Apparently do. But if you guys got a couple minutes, I have a property I've listed. I'm from Connecticut, out of the West Hartford office, and I've got a property that's been really tough, even in this market, to sell. It's I think it's underpriced at this point, but it's kind of been neglected. They're elderly folks, and it's in a nice town. Taxes are very high, and we've reduced. They've got a reverse mortgage. And I've done open houses for them. I just finished an open house. We just did a reduction, followed up with an open house, and everybody that sees it, we've attracted maybe 25 people in 6 months to look at it. And it's in a historic area. It's got a lot going for it, but it is unique. It's huge. It's 5,500 square feet, and it's got a photography studio in it that's like 20% of that. And so it's very unique home business, but I don't know. I'm kind of running out of ideas as how to help them, because everybody who sees it basically just says, it needs updating. There's some issues.
Did you have that in your remarks that the house needs updating? So people coming there are aware of that?
To some degree, yeah. Worded more like, opportunity to put your own stamp on it and things like that.
Have you reverse prospected yet?
Yes, I have done that too. Yeah, through the MLS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
And how about photographers? Have you sent anything out to photographers if they have a photo lab there?
Yeah. The problem is that industry is this guy was a very successful commercial photographer, went all over the world in his day. He's now 80 and blind, over 80. And, that industry is really, I'm a photographer as well. Used to make a good living doing it, but it's not a real viable. I thought maybe marketing people from New York. I was doing Facebook ads for a while.
Yeah. I mean, how much work needs to be done on it? Is it like
complete updating? There's some dry rot outside. It's got a lot of unique features to it, though.
I mean, you might need to contact the people who are looking to flip. I mean, if it's not, like depends on what, maybe younger, like somebody with a little bit more capital to do the fixing, like.
Yeah.
So you might need to change who you're marketing to as well.
Might be a good Red Day project.
Yeah. It just it really needs a lot of people. It's not your typical family home. It's not really designed for a family. They never had kids, so you may need to start thinking about flippers,
right? So maybe you change who you're talking to, and that might help.
Yeah. How would you market Because they're at their point with their reverse mortgage now where, you know, if we sold it for the price that we're asking now, they would walk away with maybe 25,000.
But at the rate you're going, it's not selling.
It's not.
So price, location, condition. Those are the three factors. The condition's clearly not there.
Right.
I can't answer to your location, but you saying it's in Connecticut, my sense is there's the money and the clientele. If it were me, I would go ahead and get it appraised because you said you weren't sure about the value. And the other beauty of the appraisal is to show your client what the true value is of the property if you're getting him not to adjust the price. And if you like the price, put the appraisal out on the counter. So when people come through and say it's too high, then with all due respect, the price, you know, we just had it appraised, but something's off there and it has to be one of those three. And in this market and in Connecticut, I think it's the price.
I agree with you, Janice.
I agree with you, Janice. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there lies in the problem because they're at the point right now where there's not much meat left on the bone at this point. They had it on the market for a year prior to me with somebody at 535 and they got 3 showings. And then I got involved with it and we went in 495 in October. And, you know, we've got like 25 showings at this point, but we're down now. We're at 469 right now. And like I said, they've only got, if we sold it for like 465, they'd only have 25 grand to walk away with.
Yeah.
So their reverse mortgage, you know, I'm thinking maybe short sale is the next step, you know.
It's only going to get worse from here.
Right. And have you talked to their mortgage company?
No, I haven't talked to them directly. No, they've been in contact with them a little bit.
But you may want to do a joint call with them just to find out where the mortgage company's at. You know, they may be willing to, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, if the people walk away, they have to foreclose, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to get, John, I hate to cut you off.
Yeah, no worries. I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, we're gonna get back to it. Thank you guys, all 42 for sticking in with me. I appreciate it because I know this is the tough part, right? Now we get to practice and do stuff for reals and this is exciting. So let me share my screen again. Okie dokie. All right, here we go. So there are 4 things we should be doing every single day, right? We should be adding 10 contacts to our database. We should be having 10 conversations a day, and that could be on the phone, it could be a Facebook messaging, it could be texting, but it has to be 2-way, right? It can't just be us reaching and leaving a message or whatever. It has to be a 2-way conversation. That's what counts as a conversation. 10 handwritten notes a day, and then 10 home previews per week. Now, what do we mean by home previews? All right. So now a lot of people are like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get to do all of this and get to 10 homes and see all 10. It's not about actually seeing 10 homes. So you should absolutely go ahead and, you know, attend your caravans if there's caravans in the area. But you should absolutely be doing market research every day. Every day. It should be you should have hot sheets. You should, on your MLS, you should know exactly what's going on, especially in the areas that you are focused in. You should know what's going on. You should know what's coming on the market, what's coming off the market, what the average, you know, list price is, what the average sale price is, list to sale ratio. You should know this stuff. And why is this? Because when somebody asks you how the market is, your answer shouldn't just be good or crazy. It should be more than a 1-word answer. Does that make sense, guys? Right? There's nothing that makes us look more professional, right? We may not have all the experience, but we definitely can look professional. And we can definitely look professional by doing our homework on the area that we work in. All right. So when people, who here has gotten the question yet? How's the market? Who here's gotten it? Anybody yet?
All the time.
All the time. Right? I mean, that's the first thing people ask real estate agents, right? So we need to have an intelligent answer, right? We should be able to say, like, oh my goodness, 123 Main Street went on the market and it went off within 10 days and it was just crazy. And these are the type of things that are happening. sellers are doing this, mortgage rates are doing this, right? Just having a conversation, a good one, makes you look like the professional you are. Okay. So
And and the other thing is, if you don't know where to get those stats, the National Association puts out something monthly, and your state association might put something out. I know ours does. We get the stats right from our state every month.
Yep,
You know?
we do too. MAR puts up data. In fact, I even send out a newsletter every month to my clients that just say, here's what's going on in the market, right? And I just pull that resource right from MAR and I just send it out to everybody.
Yep.
So, great way to do it. Yep. So yes, so these 10 things are super important. I'm going to do these 10 things every day. It's going to get us into the habit of doing these 10 things every day. Okay. And we need to time block for it. Time block. Because if you don't time block, if it's not on our schedule,
it doesn't exist.
Thank you. All right. Okay. All right. So we're gonna use a script in a minute here. So I know you guys talked all about scripts the other day. And would someone want to just kind of give me an overview of why scripts are important?
So that way you can actually like listen to what the person is saying. You don't have to like think, what are you going to say? You already have that kind of internalized and you can like react to what they're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And it helps you ask the right questions too. It helps, like you said, it helps you listen more. Absolutely. I think that's so important, is listening to the people that we're talking to. And I think that's great. Yeah, the scripts are so very, very important. And yes, it doesn't necessarily sound like you at first, but that comes with practice, right? And it helps you build confidence so you know the right things to say. I can guarantee you there's only so many objections in this business. There's only so many of them, right? You're going to eventually have a script for every single one of them, and you're going to have like different ways to say it, because you're always supposed to mirror and match the person on the other side so that you have a good rapport with the person, right? So if someone's up here, we need to be up here. If someone's down low, we need to be down there with them. But there's only so many objections. So there's really only so many scripts you need to remember, right? So there's not too many of them. So
it also helps you control the conversation. So you get to control the conversation with your scripts and by asking questions.
Oh, that's super important. You brought up a great thing. So when you sit down to do your lead generation, right? Has anybody gotten stuck talking to somebody for like 20 minutes when it was supposed to be like a 10-minute conversation? Anybody? Nobody?
I do.
I knew there was one or two of you in there. So it's super easy, especially when you're talking to people you know, right? So one of the things I always tell people you might want to add at the very beginning, especially if you're talking to somebody you know, right, is, hey, do you have a time for a quick business conversation? Quick business conversation. It's like setting the expectations right up front before you begin your script. And it's telling everybody, it's like kind of alerting them to the fact that it's going to be quick. So we don't have time to talk about what Aunt Sally did last year. And it's going to be about business. So we know that we're on task and on schedule, right? Because if you're supposed to make 10 contacts a day and you're talking to the same person for 20 minutes, you are going to run out of time real quick. So you got to make sure that it's quick. You like set that expectation right off the bat, and that usually helps with those kinds of conversations. And remember not to fall in the hole, the rabbit hole, right? Follow the script, okay?
And you can also say, I'd love to call you later so we can catch up on all the other stuff that's been going on.
Yep, absolutely, right? We can have a different conversation, right? At a different time. Not on your business time, right? Okay. Okay. Here we go. It's time to start to practice the script. And I know it's pretty sure you guys have seen this one. So the script we're going to practice today is, let me stop my share for a moment. I have it up somewhere. Hold on. Let me find it. Dun, da, da, da. The Ford script. Right? The Ford script, no matter what, the Ford script is great. Like, you know, it is a great way to just have a conversation with somebody. You're just quickly asking about themselves, and then you're getting right into the business part of things. And Bonnie, which one are we focusing on today? I think it's the.
I think the last bit, whoops, I am building my business on people I know and the people they know. Do you know of anyone? Why not? That last paragraph.
So yeah, you don't even have to do the whole thing. You could pick a paragraph depending on what kind of information you're trying to give out at the time, right? So if I'm trying to get like an email address or an address, I might say like, oh, like, hey, I'd like to share my free real estate app, or I'd like to share my, my neighborhood nurture with you. What's your address, right? So you can change the script up depending on, you can pick a paragraph. You don't need to say the whole thing, right? And, I am building a people of business I know, right? That's a great one to kind of go with. So
especially for new people in business.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so does everybody have a copy of this script that they can pull up? Does anybody not? I should have asked it that way. Does anybody not have?
I got a copy, but I wrote all over it. It's kind of distracting now. If there's a quick way to get it, I can print out a clean.
Should we put it in the chat?
Yep.
The link.
Oh no, this is the hard part, finding stuff quickly.
I think I have it right here.
All right, nobody look at all the tabs, please.
Copy.
Too many.
Let me see if I can paste it here in the chat and see if that works. Try that. See if that works.
Oh, here we go.
Can you use the one in the chat, guys? Does it open?
Oh, that might do it. Yeah, I think that works.
Yes, that does work, and it's on page 9 on that script book.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Page 9.
All right.
Perfect.
So Bonnie, you want to be the agent or the client?
Oh, let's see. I'll be the client. I'll let you do this, Maggie.
Oh, okay. All right. Put me on the spot. All right. Like
oh, I don't care.
No,
Either way.
No, I'm good. Okay. So ring ring.
Ring ring.
Hey Bonnie, how are you today?
I'm great. How about you?
Awesome. Great. Do you have a quick moment for a business conversation?
Is this Maggie?
It is. Yes. How's it going?
My goodness. It's so good to hear from you.
It's good to hear from you too. How's the family doing?
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Are the kids back at work yet? Get back to school yet?
Oh yeah, they're all back at school.
Oh, that's awesome. And you still working from home?
No, I have to go back.
Oh, you do? Oh no. Yeah. Well, I know it was fun while it lasted, I guess, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So are you planning on doing anything exciting now that kind of COVID regulations are being sort of lifted a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going to do a little travel.
Little travel? Yeah. Where are you going to go?
Down to Florida.
Florida. Oh, awesome. Yeah. What brings you there?
I own a rental property there, so I got to go check it out. It's a good way to go vacation.
Nice. Oh, you own a rental property down there. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you get to do a lot of rentals down there?
I do. It's rented almost every month. We have to do it by month, but yeah.
Are you have a real estate agent down there, or do you need some help with that?
No, I do have a real estate agent down there, but if you've got someone that you'd like to recommend, I can always be open to that.
Absolutely. I'll get you some information after this call. I'll send you some stuff. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Hey, listen, the reason for my call is I'm building my business on people I know and the people that they know. Do you know of anybody from work or your neighborhood or a group you belong to who's thinking of buying or selling or maybe investing?
Actually, yes, one of my children, to be honest with you, one of my older son is going to be buying a condo. So we're looking into getting him approved and see what he can buy.
That is awesome. Is he looking in the area?
Yep, he is. He's looking in the area. Got to stay close to mom,
Oh, absolutely. We can't have
still
that.
do the laundry. Come on.
No, absolutely not. Hey, would you mind sharing me his name and number so I can contact him so I can help him out?
I'd be happy to, Maggie. In fact, I'm glad you called because I was trying to think of who I would refer him over to. So that's perfect. I'll send you the information.
Awesome. Great. Do you mind if I actually grab it now? Did you have
Sure.
it? Yeah, perfect. Great. I'll take a name and number.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And let me, I'll reach out to him and I'll let you know how the conversation went. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'll keep you right in the loop. And hey, if you wouldn't mind, if you do me a favor, if you hear of anybody else who's looking for a real estate need, whether it be a vendor or if they need, help buying or selling a home, can you keep me in mind?
Love to. Absolutely. Glad you
Great.
called.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and your help. And please let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Nothing yet, but take care of my son.
All right. Sounds good. We'll do. All right.
All
Thanks.
right,
You have
thanks.
a good day.
You too, Maggie. Bye-bye.
Bye. Very nice.
May I ask a question on that call? So when you had said you had asked her if she had anybody that was interested in real estate, and then she said that her son was looking for a property. Is it at that point that we ask if they are already working with an agent before we kind of get their information and reach out to them?
I mean, you could, yeah. I mean, absolutely. You could definitely ask that question. I probably should have, but I'll definitely ask him that when I call him.
And then, so would the conversation then still continue? So had she said, yeah, we actually have an agent, then you would still continue to just say, well, keep me in mind if you happen to come across anybody, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like if you run into any issues or anything, then just let me know. Right. Because I mean, they may not actually have a contract with the person, right? It may just be but I really can't cross a contract either. So you kind of have to be really careful with that.
Right. And because I said they weren't working with someone, that I'm glad you called, because, we're looking to find an agent. So that was perfect. The other thing too is you always really should ask someone when you've talked to them, are you currently working with an agent?
Right. That would have been my
Ethically,
first question when I talked to him, to be honest.
Yeah, ethically, you need to be doing that. So definitely. So that's a good point, Kim.
And true, Kim, like she was not the person either. So, I mean, she may be mom, but you may not know either.
That's true. Yeah, that is a good point to make, because I feel like, being that colleges are getting out and whatnot, people's life circumstances are changing. And so, yeah, that is a really good point.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And just some kids just don't talk to their moms. Awesome. Any other questions on the conversation we had or the script itself?
I think they should probably try it. What do you think?
I think
Michelle, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you have any tips on because when we were talking about the database earlier, I know for me personally, the thing I'm missing the most on my contract is going to be their mailing addresses, because it's I've got people's phone numbers from when I used to work with them a long time ago or whatnot. Do you have what kind of tactful way would you ask for someone mailing address? You know what I mean? Especially if they just bought a house already and they're not looking anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Well, that's when you get really excited for them. You say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you just purchased a home. That is wonderful. Can I ask, who was your agent?
To fill
and then you
in,
continue.
Yeah, to fill in those holes in your database, Michelle, right? Items of value, come up with items of value that you can give them, right? They list some of them here, right? Hey, do you mind if I just send you some information about monthly about your neighborhood you live in, right? What your neighbors are doing. If you're anything like me, I love to spy on my neighbors and what their houses are worth. So I always love that. So I use that all the time, and they're like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. You can find out some item of value. So what is it you're looking for, right? If it's an address, think of what you might want to send them, right? Hey, I'd love to send you this little piece of information, or a welcome, if they just move somewhere. I just want to send you a welcome package. Is that okay? Or hey, is it okay if I send you some information regarding the market, or my vendor list? That might be helpful, or information about a new restaurant that came in. Think of your item of value before you make your calls, and then whatever piece you're missing, that's going to be what you're offering. So if it's an app, maybe it's the email address, right? So if I'm talking about my mobile app, just hey, you know what? I'm testing out my new app. I'd love for you to try it out for me and let me know how you think. Like the developers are asking us questions and I'd love to know how my clients love it. So like if you, or don't love it. So if you could like try it out and give me some feedback, that would be great, right? Because we are labbing everything. So it's not a lie. So you can send, so get their email address to send the app to them, or email address to send the neighborhood nurture, or an address to send the neighborhood nurture, something like that. Give them an item of value and give them a reason to help.
And the reason why I mentioned asking who the agent was is because you're going to see what their relationship is. So that's going to kind of help you with that. Sometimes they don't even remember who their agent was. And so that's when you build on that value. And what can you give them as an item of value? So, but if they do know who their agent is, it might be a relative, whoever, you might want to send, if it was recent, you could send that agent, congratulations on selling blah, blah, blah. 123 Main Street.
Profit share.
Yeah. Building relationships, not just outside, but also inside. My philosophy is co-broke or go broke.
Awesome.
I have one question about the script.
Yeah.
The dream part sometimes comes off as strange to me. Like if you don't know someone very well, if you haven't spoken to them in a long time, would it be appropriate if you like didn't bring up the dream part, or is that?
Yeah, I mean, go whatever feels natural. Like sometimes you can build off of that recreation thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of why I asked why she went down to Florida, right? Because if I ask questions, I might learn a little bit more real quick that I can kind of like, oh, like, are you going to retire down there? Like that's a dream, right? It definitely asking more questions can help you dive into it, and you don't need to go super deep. Like this is a short combo, but you can get some idea, some help there. That recreation really helps with the D if you don't really have a relationship yet. So cool. All right, I think we're ready to try it out on each other. So we're gonna switch up into groups of 3. And I'd like each of you to go and make and do the script with each other. The third person will watch and will give you and give constructive criticism. Okay, we want to know, like, we're here to sort of help build on this for people and help get better at it. So whatever you can say that can help them with their next conversation would be great. So, and then you listen to what they have to say, and then the next person goes. Okay, you guys just take turns all the way through. Does that make sense? Any questions? All right, I'm gonna break you up. Hold on.
And how long are you gonna do that for, Maggie?
So we're gonna do it for about
10?
About 15 minutes. I'll give you guys 15 minutes, okay? All right. So, which means a little less than that. So we're gonna come back at 11:45. All right, exactly. So, okay. And this is a buyer or seller call. Either one. I saw that question. Oh, maybe my breakout rooms.
And don't put Melissa in a group. Just don't go into the group, Melissa.
Yeah. Okay. Oof. Oh my goodness. It's not going up. 2 to 3 participants. Okay. 3 positions, 2 to 3 positions. Okay. All right. I think this is going to work. All right. Go. Be free. Fly. Some have 2, but that's okay. I just want to make sure everybody has a partner here.
Michelle and Tracy need an in.
Yep. There's some people, no one's in room 3 with Jenny. So she's going in there. Okay.
Yeah, room 3, there's got 4.
Yeah, but there's no one's accepting it, so that means the other person didn't.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, want to make sure everybody's going. Looks like room
Yeah.
4 needs to go into room 5. Hold on 1 second. It just means that they
Tracy
don't-
has to join. Tracy has not joined. Jason hasn't joined.
Room 6.
Room
should go
9.
to Room 8. All right, I just want to make sure I see 2 greens in each room.
Right.
All right, move to. Oh no, I think there's only one with 1 now. Oh no, wait, who's got 1? Room 3's got 2. Room 10. Jason, are you gonna join a room?
Yes, I was in room 9, but for some reason I
I'm
didn't
gonna-
see any. Yeah, I didn't see anybody in there. So
All right, I'm gonna move you to room 10. Okay, here you
okay,
go.
perfect.
That
There you
happened
go.
to me too. I was in room 11, but nobody else was with me. I was just
All right, give me a sec. I'm working on getting you guys partners. Hold on 1 sec. All right. Okay. Haley, where are you? You were in room, what room are you in, Haley?
I was in room 11.
11. Okay, there you go. Okay, you're gonna go. Michelle, do you need a room or are you not?
I'm going to put her in 3.
I froze originally and I had to like come out and go back in. So
Okay, I'm gonna put you and Haley in the same room.
okay.
Yep. Hold on a minute. All right. Move to. I can't, for some reason, I can't make you go somewhere. So I'm going to put you in 9. And Michelle.
Michelle's in 3. She's there in 3.
Oh, well, I was going to put them in the same room.
Oh, well. So much for that.
All right. I just put, okay, good. They're good. All right. Everybody's paired up.
Tracy is in room 10, but she hasn't joined.
Nope. That's okay. She's generally just not on. She's just somewhere else.
No, she's right there, but I can see her, but she's not joined.
Tracy, you joining a room or are you okay? She's just not paying attention, I don't think.
No, I don't think she's paying attention.
Yep.
Okay, great job. Doing a great job.
Whew, this is tough, the room thing.
Yeah. I had a hard
Actually,
time
they're all-
getting in. I didn't have a Zoom link.
They're all in groups of 2 for the most part, so we
Yeah.
actually will be able to end this pretty early. I'd like them to make 1 phone call if possible before
Yep.
we leave.
I'm going to move Tracy to another room just to see if she joins it. How's that?
Sounds good.
Let's see if she does. Oh, she's still,
Now she's moving.
she's moving her finger.
Who's by themselves?
There she goes. She went in. Good.
Hey!
Good.
It's tough when they don't pay attention. All right, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Everybody, no one's by the lonesome, so.
I know. It's when they pop out of the rooms. Now, let's see, who hasn't joined? Kristen didn't join. Did she leave? Let's see. Room 6 looks like it's empty.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. As long as there's no greens by themselves, we're okay.
Yeah. John
It's
did not
amazing
join.
how quickly people pop off when we try to.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, they have 3 minutes left, so.
Yeah, that's okay. There's only 2 of them, so I think I'll be all right.
Right.
Yeah. They all disappear when they have to make phone calls. It's very funny.
I know, isn't it funny? It's interesting though, I've not ever done the rooms, which is really great to be able to see it like this. So that's good.
Who's at 5? Okay, good. Yeah, we'll give them 3 more minutes. That should be enough time. Seeing as it's 2 in each room. This is fun.
And then do you send a broadcast message to all of them?
Yeah, they'll get the you got a minute left.
Yeah.
message.
Yeah. So we have a half hour left. It goes to 12:15, correct?
Oh, good. Okay, well, that's good.
That's why I was saying give them more time in the
Okay,
room.
well, if we leave them in the room for a little bit longer, that's all right.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we'll probably wrap up. Yeah, we'll try. Well, with the remaining, they can make some phone calls.
Right, right.
For sure, and then we'll like reconvene them at the end, and then.
I don't understand.
There's like a contract thing too, but that only works if you're in the one market center because the contracts are different for each one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, which is no good.
Oh, update contacts and follow up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you could show them.
Yeah, I can. So we can make like one phone call and then move to that. Yeah.
I suppose. Maybe not. Whatever.
I think they know how to. Hopefully they add a contact. They know how to add a contact by now.
I'm trying to think, do I have time to run to the ladies' room? Probably not though, huh?
You got like 2 minutes.
Yeah, forget it. It's all the way down in the hallway, around the corner.
I tried to limit the intake. I would like, so I was like, oh my God, this is a long time to go without a bathroom.
Right.
All right. Oh, Kim is in room. No, she's not. Okay, good. Doing all right. I think we're good. Good.
I think everybody's doing fine. Yeah, I am going to run. I'll be right back.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Filtering back. Awesome. All right. Ahas. How'd it go?
It is great. I worked with Janice and she did a really nice job. Actually, like, I mean, you kind of mentioned it as well, but kind of making it seem like it's like a business call. It's weird, like hearing it on this end, because sometimes like when I do call people, it kind of gets wishy-washy of like, you know, personal, and then it gets harder. You feel like it's weird to bring up real estate, but when you kind of set the mindset of that it's like going to be like business, it sets the stage for what you're talking about.
Yeah, it sets them up and it sets you up too, right? Like it's all about that mindset generation.
Yeah.
How about anybody else? Anybody else that has?
This is Janice, and I worked with Adrian and Stephanie. And what I realized, and I'm not sure which call it was on, but you talk about smiling while you're talking, and you can sense it over the phone. And there was no doubt in speaking with Stephanie and Adrian, they were smiling. And so it made for they couldn't see me, but I could see them, but it made it for a more enjoyable conversation.
Awesome. I can tell they seem like very happy people.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
This is Sheena. I worked with Janelli, and I felt like everything was very authentic and genuine. The way she provided additional information for me so that I could find out about my neighborhood. It was just really nice interaction. I think she did a good job.
Awesome, guys. I'm glad.
I worked with Mike, and I had to start over my conversation like 5 times because one was, I'm sorry I'm calling. I know people don't make phone calls anymore. And I was like, okay, get it out. You know, it was, I think I had to start over like 3 times.
Okay. That just means more practice, right? That's it, right? Yeah. It's just doing it again and again and again until you're comfortable with it, right? It's just
so he was like, you know what, he suggested, he was really good. He suggested to say, do you have a minute to chat? And people are still going to say, is everything okay? You know, because people don't want to talk on a phone. And they're like, oh yeah, everything's fine.
So I'm going to say right here, that is a limiting belief. And we leave those suckers at the door. They don't come in, right? It comes from mindset, right? It's a mindset for you, because it sounds like for you, when you're calling, you're like, I'm bothered them. Like, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm bothered them. And I can tell you that will come right across in your conversation, right? You got to switch your mindset, right? So you are doing this to help them, right? We are in the business of helping people, right? That is what we do. We help them find the next home of their dreams. We help them find their investment. We help them, you know, whatever it is, vendors, you know, relationships, it doesn't matter. Like, that's what we're here to do. Better credit. We're here to help them. And so, like, if you think of it that way, it's gonna start thinking of that yourself, and then it'll make the conversation go a lot better, right? So start with your own mindset, and then it'll be a lot better conversation. You can do it. I have faith in you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I was working with Keith, and he was really good at giving me constructive feedback. I was nervous, even just doing the script call, even though he was so easy to talk to. But he did catch that when I asked for, you know, if he knew anybody who was selling or looking for an agent, he did have somebody. And instead I asked for permission for him to ask his friend if I can give him a call and then contact me. And then he right away told me, like, you know, I can just get the number from him and then call. So we can get to, you know, closing, like getting that information and closing right there instead of,
Absolutely. I can guarantee you, if you wait for someone else to do it, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those things. I hear it all the time. Like, oh yeah, they're going to get me that info. They're not going to get you that info.
And you know what? The other thing too you can do is just ask for the information, get the information and say, would you mind just calling them and just introducing me, and let them know I'm calling them, you know, after you've received the information.
Yeah.
So that way they're actually helping you by doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. Great idea. Yep.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to work with Drew, awesome guy. And I suggested that he may record his, you know, he could record his voice reading the script and listen to it over and over again to where it feels natural. I've done that. And I was mentioning to him that when I was studying for my real estate exam, I would record my own voice reading the definitions and certain things, and I'd play it back. And since it's my own voice, I can talk at the same time. I already know what I'm gonna say. So it kind of flowed when I was able to do that. So
cool.
Love that. It's a good idea. Awesome. I love that you guys all got something out of it. That was awesome. Like the more you do this, the better. It just gets easier over time, right?
Yes, I did get something out of it. I was nervous. I was really shaking. She said that it seemed like it was natural to me, but to be honest with you, I was shaking and just kind of like fighting through it. And I kind of like almost trying to read the script. It just kind of goes blank. To try to sound authentic and genuine and to try to read something is hard for me. So I appreciate that she did give me the grade, but it was my first time actually doing the script like that. And you know, it was awesome experience to, you know, actually practice it and just work through the nerves.
Yeah, I mean, all about this, and some of you, like I can tell you, I definitely am still not comfortable picking up the phone. I hate it, but I do it anyway. And it's just me getting comfortable being uncomfortable, right? That's just kind of the business of this kind of stuff. And the more you practice, just the better you be. I kind of liken it to, I like put on the persona, like I put on the mask. Time to perform, right? It's just being a different person altogether, and sometimes that helps people. It's just like, yep, I might be shaking my boots. I really don't know what I'm gonna like. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna do it.
Yep, I smiled, laughed, and shaked all through it.
Yep, that's right. It's just putting on the mask, pretend to be someone else, right? My disc profile is I'm a high C and I have very little I, but no, like I can put on the mask when I need to. So it's definitely it's just being comfortable being uncomfortable. That's pretty much how it gets to be. And the more you know it, the better you actually feel, which is great. So okay. All right. So now I'm going to ask you guys to do something very difficult. I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and call somebody. I don't care who you call, right? Now, if you feel really uncomfortable, call someone you know, or call your mom. Could just say like I need, and just start off with the, hey, can I practice the script off on you, right? If that makes you feel better, like just to help you get into it. Or you can just call someone and just use the script. Whatever you feel more comfortable doing, I would like you to go ahead and do. And I'd like you to do, so I'm going to give you guys, because we go to 12:15, right, Bonnie?
12:15, right.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you guys to 12:10 to make as many phone calls as you can. And I hope you can connect with at least one person. If you make contact with someone, I'd love for you to come back here and like put a little reaction, like a little like, yay reaction. And when we all come back, we will see that none of us died, that we all made it through. Right? And that this is because, guys, like part of this is celebrating the wins and the successes and the failures too, because every no is just one step closer to a yes. That's it, right? That's it. So hey,
and smile through the whole call.
And smile through the whole call. So all right, guys, I'm gonna set you loose. I'm gonna put everybody on, you guys can all put yourselves on mute. And then I want you guys to make a call. And then I want you guys back here at 12:10. All right, make as many calls as you like, as you can. Try to connect with at least one person. Get me some reactions. I want to see it. All right, guys. All right, here we go. Off we go.
They're all disappearing. They don't want us to see them making the calls.
Maggie and Bonnie. I just want to say thank you. I'm gonna leave. We have the Red Day planning meeting in our market center, and I want to be a part of it. It's my first one, so
Oh, that's great. Good for you.
Well, good luck. That's a lot of fun. I love Red Day.
thank
is
you.
fun.
Thank you guys for everything.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Good morning. Right.
All right, guys, your time is up. I see that there were some successful ones. Can I get a little bit of a reactions here? Let's see who made a contact. Put a little reaction up. Do the party one or the hands up. I don't care. Make it exciting. Who did this? I saw some of you. Yeah, like Pam, I saw you on the phone. Drew, I saw you on the phone. Brittany, Beth, yeah, I saw that. Chuck, I know
I got a couple voicemails, didn't get anybody. So I lived down in Charlotte, North Carolina for like 10 years and I just moved back kind of recently. So I have like an excuse, like I've been trying to reach out to people anyway, just a lot of it's like old high school buddies I haven't talked to in like 10 years, but hopefully.
Don't forget about those North Carolina people because that's rural territory. So
yeah, for sure.
Count.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I know some of you, Drew, you had asked a great question. Should I make note of this stuff? Yes. Anybody who contacted or even didn't contact, you need to make a note, right? So make a note of the things you talked about. Make a note or set a reminder to call them next. The ones you didn't contact, set a reminder to call them tomorrow, right? Make sure you hit everybody, right? We're gonna make sure we hit everybody at every point in time. So make your notes, update them in command, right? Write your follow-up notes today, like write a little note thanking them for the conversation, right? That's a handwritten note right there. So you're good to go. So congratulations for all of you for sticking with us and making those calls. I really appreciate it. And you keep on doing it. It'll get better. It'll get really easier. So, and I don't think anybody died. Did anybody die? Anybody? No, I think so Drew might be having some problems over there. So I think we all lived. So hey, it's good news, right? So that means we can go ahead and do it again tomorrow. So thank you very much, guys, for being here and learning with us. If you guys could all, I think the region will be sending you evaluations for everyone who registered. If you wouldn't mind filling those out, they're really helpful to us. It really helps us figure out like what we can do better, if we're doing okay, like all that good stuff. So I would really appreciate if you do, especially since some of us are going for their university certificate. So if
that's
you could do
right.
them, I'd really be appreciative because I know I am. So
and I am too.
Yeah, good. So Johnny and I have the same goals. I love it. So so that would be really awesome if you could do it. And yeah, just show up with the same energy tomorrow if you guys are going to be on tomorrow. So I really
Melissa just asked a question. What is a good thing to say in a voicemail? And I think that's a really good question.
It is a really good question, and it depends on who you talk to. Some people leave voice messages, some people don't. I'm in the business of leaving voice messages. Just say, hey, it's Mag McDowell. I was just trying to reach out to you. Give me a call back when you get a chance. Right? That's how I do it. The second time, same message. Third time, I got this actually as a recommendation from one of my bowl coaches. And he was like, I say, hey, I've been trying to reach you for a couple of days. Haven't been able to touch with you. If you wouldn't mind just reaching out to me, that'd be great. I was like, well, that's really interesting. He said it puts them on like the guilt trip. So like when they call back, it's almost like you're on a higher footing than them at that point. They're willing to do anything to make you feel better because they didn't touch base with you. So
and that's what I always say. I'm just checking in, wanted to say hi.
Yep. That third one is usually the last one you reach out with the voicemail. You try 3 times and then you go on to the next one. But that third one, I thought that was great. Like, hey, I've been trying to reach you a couple times. Can you just reach out when you get a chance? Thanks. Like, it just makes them feel bad for not talking to you. So, and then they'll like have to give you something at that point. So, like the guilt trip for those, like I bet the Italian guilt up the wazoo. So I know what that's like. All right. Okay. That's it. Any other questions?
Awesome.
Cool. It was great work with you guys.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie. It was awesome.
That was fun.
It was fun.
Good group of people.
Absolutely. These guys
I enjoy that. Great job leading.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good. Thank you for keeping me on schedule and reminding me to do breaks.
All the partnership.
Oh yeah.
Take care. I'll see you again. I hope.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Maggie.
Bye.